Chapter 630. To the weak. In fact, she was going to vent her anger on Qiao Xian. That was a very strange logic. When someone offended a person who was more powerful and could not take revenge on that person, one would definitely try to bully those who were weaker just to vent the anger. The brave attacked the strong and the timid attacked the weak. That was what happened in the society. It was the same as in the case of those who had a bad time in their life but vented their anger at those children in the kindergarten and primary school. Zhao Ming felt annoyed by Qiao Wei, but she only dared to curse her in her heart. She did not dare set up Qiao Wei or take revenge on her. But she was going to pick on Qiao Xian. Qiao Xian was also Officer Qiao's daughter. Officer Qiao was so annoying, so his daughter should bear the responsibility. The more she thought about this, the angrier Zhao Ming felt. So, she found some time and headed directly to Shaoding village. When she arrived, the house for snow fungus had been built. Zhao Ming turned to the coachman and sneered. "This is by Qiao Xian again? Interesting. What is it exactly? It is not a house, right? But this showed Qiao Xian did have some money, no? Otherwise she would not be able to afford to build these. They had a big residential house and also dozens of mu fields. There should be more than 100 mu of field in total, right? Those fields were not worth more than good fields, but together, it would add up to something after all." Zhao Ming suddenly came up with an idea. She thought about taking Qiao Xian's belongings since the Qiao family forced the Zhao family to offer money. These fields were not valuable, but she was going to get them. For her family's sake. Although she did not think this little thing would be worth much, at least she would feel better. The villagers were used to seeing wagons heading towards the first section of the Shao family, so Zhao Ming's arrival did not attract any attention. It was Li Xia who opened the door. She was startled. "Who are you?" Zhao Ming did not care about a small maid. But did this mean that they could afford to hire servants now? That was surprising. She could not help but spare a few glances at Li Xia. She felt even more annoyed. Li Xia behaved so well and she did not seem like a cheap, stupid servant. Almost as good as her own. Qiao Rong asked, "Is this cultivated talent Shao Yunduan and Miss Qiao's home?" Li Xia nodded. "It is." "Good. Our lady is here to talk with them," Qiao Rong said as she was about to walk in with Zhao Ming. Li Xia frowned. She did not stop them but shut the door instead of letting the coachman walk in. This lady did not seem to be her mistress' friend. She looked so bad-tempered. She could not stop her, but she could at least shield her from coming into the yard. The first section of the Shao family was very busy at this time. Qiao Xian and a few girls were working very hard in the flower fields. Apart from Shao Yunduan, who was studying at home, only Miss Fang and Miss Su were home, taking care of the children with Li Xia. Miss Fang heard the noise and walked out. She sized up Zhao Ming. Chapter 631. Ojao Xian's money. Li Xia walked forward and bowed to Miss Fang. "Madame Shao, this lady is asking for Miss Qiao." She could not stop her. She did not dare stop her mistress friend. But she hesitated for just 1 second, which allowed Zhao Ming to walk in with her servants. "Oh, you are here to look for Miss Qiao." Miss Fang noticed Zhao Ming sizing up the house and looking at the way she reacted. She believed that Zhao Ming was not here to chat with Miss Qiao. But she had not done anything so far, so she just smiled and asked, "What is your name?" Qiao Rong said arrogantly, "It is Lady Zhao." "Okay, Lady Zhao, come to the house and take a seat." "Li Xia, go and fetch Miss Qiao." Miss Fang greeted her with a smile. Li Xia rushed to the flower field in the backyard. Zhao Ming walked in and saw the nice furniture made with good wood. These were not precious but definitely not cheap either. The yard was bigger than other farmer families' homes, and there were some other yards as well. The floor was covered with bricks. An ordinary family could not have afforded this. She saw the flowers too. There were hydrangeas, peonies, and magnolias. The glazed windows surprised her. Those were not cheap at all. Those large glazed windows let in the light, and this was not an easy piece of work. Qiao Xian did it, right? These countryside people should have heard of anything like glazed windows. Where did Qiao Xian get this much money? Zhao Ming believed that Qiao Xian must have offered her dowry so the first section of the family could live a luxurious life like this. Madame Qiao could not have possibly given Qiao Xian this much dowry. Qiao Xian's mother left all this to her? That must be right. Interesting. Zhao Ming sneered as if she had gotten a bargaining chip. She felt motivated. In the field, Qiao Xian was startled. Lady Zhao. She did not know any Lady Zhao. But when she thought of Zhao Ming, she almost turned pale. "Let's go." Qiao Xian told Tao Tao and the others to continue working whilst going back to the yard with Li Xia. Zhao Ming could not be here for anything good. Lady Zhao. Qiao Xian was wearing ordinary cotton clothes that were half new. The shoes on her feet were also coarse cloth shoes with a little mud stuck on them. She had been working in the flower field. The hair bun was wrapped with a light-colored floral cloth. That was to prevent the hair from being blown by the wind and messing up the vision, and also to stop the hair from being blown into the flower juice. When Zhao Ming saw how messy Qiao Xian looked, she felt comfortable. She sneered. "Second miss, what made you look like this? I would not recognize you on the street." Qiao Xian took her to the wing room and asked, "What are you doing here?" Zhao Ming snorted, glancing about. "Second miss, you are living a good life here, right?" Qiao Xian understood what she meant. If Elder Miss Qiao learned about this, she would act on it. Zhao Ming thought that she had got the bargaining chip. But she was wrong. Qiao Xian repeated her words calmly. "I am wondering what you are doing here, Lady Zhao." Chapter 632. Shocked Zhao Ming had a bad look on her face. She said angrily, "Of course I am here to collect debt. The county magistrate got so much money from our home, so I am here to collect it from you. So what?" That was not a secret among all the rich families in the county. Even the masters and mistresses from the Zhao family knew about it. Zhao Ming naturally believed that she did not need to keep it a secret, thus spilling it out loudly. Qiao Xian thought to herself that no wonder she was a good friend with Qiao Wei. They had the same temper. But she was shocked by what Zhao Ming said. Did her father get much money from the Zhao family? It seemed that her husband was right. Her father was in desperate need of money. The Zhao family might have been annoyed to offer a few hundred liang. But if Zhao Ming was this worked up, then it basically meant that the Qiao family had taken thousands of liang from them. Qiao Xian was shocked. Thousands of liang was a very large number. The Zhao family was rich, but she was sure that they could not stand that much taken out of their family as well. Qiao Xian said calmly, "Lady Zhao, you are behaving way over the top. I don't know much about what happened. But my father has been treating you and your family well these days. Why do you react so much to loaning out this little money?" "Little money?" Zhao Ming sneered. "We gave your family many presents over the years. But still he took 3,500 liang from us. You said that is little? It seems that you are rich enough to call this amount little now?" Qiao Xian. She really wanted to tell her that a few thousands of liang was a small amount for her now. She had cash worth more than 40,000 liang. But what position was her father trying to achieve, which cost him so much? He was in such a hurry. Did it mean that he was leaving the country soon? That would be great. Qiao Xian showed a look of surprise. "Then what has it got to do with me?" "Ha!" Zhao Ming sneered. "You are his daughter. Qiao Xian, if I tell others that you are living in a house with glazed windows and large yards, and you even have hundreds of mu of fields, what do you think will happen?" Qiao Xian was speechless. She got nothing good out of her father, but her father had caused her such trouble. Zhao Ming was very annoyed to have lost this much money, so she was venting her anger. "What do you want?" Qiao Xian did not show any expression. Zhao Ming believed that Qiao Xian was pretending to be composed. She said proudly, "I'll know you are poor, but I want your fields. Then I will keep this a secret for you." Qiao Xian did not believe her. Qiao Xian was not going to give away the fields here. Even if she did, what would happen next time? Was she going to give it to Zhao Ming whenever she wanted something from? No, she was not going to give away anything. "You don't want to? Aren't you afraid that Elder Miss Qiao would know about this?" "Qiao Xian, you are a smart person. You know what choice to make." Chapter 633. Reasonable Qiao Xian asked in a calm voice. "Lady Zhao, do you think that the Shao family are rich enough to get those fields in the big house?" Zhao Ming was startled. She was confused too, but then she sneered. "It's all thanks to you." Qiao Xian shook her head. "It's not me but my husband. I only know that the fields are related to young Master Yuezheng in the province, but one don't know the details. Young Master Yuezheng keeps a low profile and he doesn't like bragging. But this is not some dirty deal, so you can tell anyone you want." Qiao Xian was still trying to use Yuezheng Shao as the shield. Afterwards, she could go to Shao Yunduan and talk about the compensation. Allos, Yuezheng Shao had a manager who was now residing at the Zhang village. He could be the messenger. He was working for the Yuezheng family, and he would always work better than Shao Yunduan as proof. Zhao Ming had heard of the Yuezheng family in the province. She was startled hearing what Qiao Xian said. "You are lying to me, aren't you?" "Qiao Xian. You can believe me or not. It depends on you." Zhao Ming snorted and flushed furiously. She got very angry about not being able to get the fields. Maybe she was even looked down upon by Qiao Xian. She did not need the fields. She just wanted to vent her anger. How could that be so difficult? "So, Young Master Yuezheng has purchased all those fields? What does he need those fields for? Qiao Xian replied with a shrug. I am not sure about it. Qiao Xian sounded so natural just when she said that. She was just a woman who should not be involved with family business, right? Zhao Ming believed so too. She looked at Qiao Xian quietly. She was not very satisfied, but there was nothing she could do. She could not go and get the information from Shao Yunduan. Qiao Xian was chuckling inwardly, thinking that she could imagine all the stories she wanted. It was time to make lunch and Qiao Xian did not want Zhao Ming to stay here any longer. Lady Zhao, it is time for lunch. One think you can. Zhao Ming snorted and looked disdainful, so stingy. She believed that she was going to remain for lunch? She did not want to eat anything from the poor family. Qiao Xian, you must never lie to me. I will look into what you said. If you have lied to me, I will teach you a lesson. Qiao Rong, we should leave now. Zhao Ming left arrogantly. Qiao Xian ignored her and told Miss Fang about it. When Miss Fang learned that Zhao Ming's brother was hanging out with Shao Lulang, so she snapped. No wonder she seems like a bad person. She looks down at us. She should never bother to come to our door if she looks down at us. We are not begging her. Qiao Xian laughed. Mom, next time she is here, send someone to fetch me but do not speak with her. Ladies from the town are always arrogant and they never talk nicely. Don't take what they say to your heart or get upset, okay? Miss Fang smiled and said, Thanks for your concern, my daughter-in-law. They happened to go into the mountains the previous day, and hadn't finished eating the muntjac meat they hunted back. At noon they made shredded pork in sauce, braised venison, Crucian carp loofah soup, fried wolfberry sprouts, river shrimp fried spring leeks, and a bowl of kimchi pickled with carrots, beans, chili and cabbage. Those seasonal vegetables were delicious and fresh. Chapter 634. No involvement. After lunch they returned to their own yards. That was when Qiao Xian told Shao Yunduan about Zhao Ming's visit. The couple would have originally thought that Zhao Ming wanted to suck up to Qiao Wei, and hence she tried to pry into their matter. But the truth was that she came to vent her anger because of the loan. Qiao Xian thought of how Shao Lulang spilled the information to her at the tea house. They knew that she was not up to anything good. They did not even interrogate Shao Lulang. There was no need to say anything to a person like him. What they needed was to stay cautious. After some discussion, the couple went to the Zhang village and gave the update to the manager there. The manager assured them. He said disdainfully, the Zhao family, the Zhang family or any family are nothing as long as our young master moves a finger. Once he does that, they will have no prospering business. Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan laughed. Zhao Ming told her mother about what happened. She wondered if she should tell Qiao Wei what she found at the first section of the Shao family. Madame Zhao was very surprised when she heard about the life Qiao Xian was living. She knew pretty well what went on inside mansions like that. But, you said that young Master Yuezheng was mentioned? He is involved in it? Yeah, but 1 am not sure if she is lying. Just leave it. Madame Zhao said calmly, what does it have to do with us? We should not get nosy like this. Zhao Ming was struck speechless. She felt that it was so stupid to have visited Qiao Xian. How the Qiao family was doing had nothing to do with the Zhao family. She could help to get some information before. But Officer Qiao forced the Zhao family to pay him 3,500 liang, and the two families' relationship was broken. She better not share the information with Qiao Wei anymore. Besides, the Yuezheng family was involved in this as well. That was enough to motivate her to stay out of it. She even wished that Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan would be powerful enough to get young Master Yuezheng to help them take revenge on Officer Qiao's family. I'll got it, Mom. Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan thought that something would happen after Zhao Ming went back. But nothing did. They were very confused. They had no idea why the accident did not happen, but they did not think that it would never come. After all, Zhao Ming would not be able to keep it a secret for too long. Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan only wished that life could be more peaceful. But Qiao Xian was still very confused why her father needed this much money. So she asked Yuezheng Shao to look into that. Soon Yuezheng Shao's message arrived. Her father was trying to get a transfer back to the capital. Officer Qiao was the last generation of the rank. The Qiao mansion lost its rank when her father took it over. They were just an ordinary family henceforth. The mansion would not have any power or contacts, since there were so many rich people and people in high positions in the capital. Chapter 635. To province. It was not very easy for her father to get transferred back to the capital. No wonder he needed this much money. But the way he asked for the money was so shameless. It was good that he had no idea about her properties. Otherwise he would have kept pestering her. Once the foundation was built, the house at the entrance of the village was completed within a few days' time. Soon after, they built the shelf and started to transport the mushrooms. There were dustpans, cleaves, baskets all bought in large batches. Many people in the village were able to weave such things, so Qiao Xian turned to them and paid them to make enough. The planting of mushrooms started within half a month. The mushrooms only took up 3 mu, and it would soon grow in a few months. The plan of filling up the house should go smoothly. That was all money right in front of her. Qiao Xian was very satisfied. The pomegranates were also blooming in full swing. Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan decided to head to the province after they made another batch of pomegranate color lipsticks. The autumn examination took place at the end of July, and the time was fast approaching. Qiao Xian needed to get everything settled before she left in case something happened. Especially ever since she almost got exposed in front of Officer Qiao, she had become more careful. She was not sure what would happen when she and Shao Yunduan were away for almost 2 months. She was going to entrust her matter to Yuezheng Shao's manager. The manager had a strong background and he could deal with everything with him in charge. He would at least solve the small problems which could occur in 2 months' time. When all was settled, Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan left the village in silence on June 20th. They had 1,300 lipsticks, 10 kilograms of dried snow fungus along with Wuxia and Qiao. Their destination was the province. Ms. Fang had wanted Qi to follow them, but Shao Yunduan turned her down. Their elder brother was too honest and the third brother was a bit slow in mind. Qi seemed young but he should remain at home to protect the others. He could buy one page boy to run errands and carry stuff when he arrived in the province. He could keep him if he wanted to, or sell him after the examination. Ms. Fang could not persuade him and thus agreed. Shao Yunduan repeatedly told the family that no one should tell others that he went out for the examination. The news they spread was that he was out to visit friends since he was in a bad mood. Even this was not to be mentioned to anyone unless someone asked. Especially to the other sections of the family. Actually, Shao Yunduan was very worried about Shao Lulang who hung out with Zhao Guanghua. He might talk nonsense at any point of time. The Qiao family and the Zhao family were too close to each other. If Madame Qiao knew that he was going to take the examination, she might try to cause some trouble. He and Qiao Xian were not at home and their parents and siblings were all honest farmers. They would not be able to confront people like Madame Qiao, who could set them all up easily if she used some tricks. Shao Yunduan could not take the risk. Shao Lulang was very concerned whether he was going to take the examination and even came to ask him about this. Shao Yunduan showed a bad look to him and said that he was not. Shao Lulang laughed proudly and pretended to console Shao Yunduan, then he left happily. Chapter 636. Warning: he did not care if Shao Yunduan treated him nicely or not. Shao Lulang believed that he was in a bad mood and could be forgiven. Shao Lulang did not suspect him. After all, Shao Yunduan was driven out of Minghua College and without any teacher's instructions, he could not exchange opinions with anyone, thus going around without a clue. In that case he would not have the guts to take the autumn examination. Even if he did, he would not make it. It would be just a waste of money. What was the point? Although Shao Lulang left in satisfaction, Shao Yunduan did not relax his vigilance. He still stressed that the secret had to be kept. He said to eldest uncle in a serious tone, "Dad, you should never ever tell anyone from the second or third section of the family about my going to take the examination. Many people from the college are jealous of me, and if they know that one will be attempting the examination they would cause trouble. I have never begged you for anything, but please this time listen to me." Eldest uncle was very confused. "I will never tell anyone outside the family. But are you intending to keep it from our family too?" "I will tell them not to tell anyone else. Our family would not cause you any trouble." "Dad." Shao Yunduan knew that it would be the answer. He said quietly, "I am not joking with you. The secret would no longer be secret, if it is told to even a single person." "Dad, are you trying to cause me and our family trouble?" Eldest uncle turned pale. "Is it that serious?" "Yes, in fact, far more serious than we think. You would never know. Madame Qiao was an evil woman and she could do anything she liked here in the county. She did not care about anyone." Fang turned angry. "What is wrong with you? Duan told you so because it is a serious matter. I don't know the details but I trust Duan. You don't believe him? You think your son is messing around? What is so bad about keeping it a secret? Duan is on the way to the examination and you are talking back to your son. I am warning you, if you ever tell anyone about it and cause us trouble, I will divorce you. My children are all grown-ups and we can live separately. I can live without you. Her sons would take care of her anyway." Eldest uncle got so humiliated hearing her threat. Okay then, I won't spill it. How can it be so serious? Eldest uncle left the room angrily. Miss Fang said to Xiao Yunduan, "Don't worry, I will make sure that he doesn't talk." Xiao Yunduan nodded. "Thanks, Mom." They had a huge house and Xiao Yunduan and Qiao Xian had their avant-garde. They barely showed up in front of others. So their absence would not cause much attention. Soon, the news that Xiao Yunduan gave up the examination was spread around. Some were laughing, some were making up stories, and some felt that Xiao Yunduan gave this up because he believed that he would fail. Only some people really showed concern. Some even came to the door to pry. They were very curious. It was not a very good thing to discuss, and Miss Fang was not happy to answer them. She just exchanged a few words with them and received some consolation like "It is fine, he can do that later, what a pity," etc. Chapter 637. Province. No one found that it was strange when Xiao Yunduan and Qiao Xian did not show up in front of people. They would be too embarrassed to do so and people could totally understand that. At the Qiao family, Officer Qiao understood that it was not a very reasonable thing he did to have borrowed this much money from others. So he stayed quiet and tried to avoid meeting people during this time. He even told Madame Qiao and Qiao Wei as well as the others to remain at home, rather than attend any banquets, at least for the next few months. Madame Qiao stayed at home, saying that she was practicing Buddhism. Even if County Magistrate Qiao did not tell her to, she would not have gone out by herself. She knew that she would not be well received after she got so much money from others. Qiao Wei did not step out either. She hoped that some of her girlfriends could come to the door and visit her. But no one showed up. Qiao Wei felt quite cold in her heart. She sneered at them for pursuing the small benefits. They should feel lucky to have befriended her. When she was back to the capital next spring, they would have no chance to suck up to her. They would regret it deeply at that time. Moreover, she was going to marry the whole mansion. Those noble families were totally out of reach for these landlords' children. Qiao Wei was still dreaming without realizing that Qiao Ko was planning to set her up. Qiao Xian and Xiao Yunduan went to the mansion which the Yuezheng family had given them, after they reached the province. It was spread across 7 mu with 3 corridors and a small garden. There was still a lot of space after the 4 of them moved in. Yuezheng Shao had learned that they would arrive within these few days, so he had already ordered servants to clean up the whole place, and left a couple to help with some house chores. In this way they would not panic. The following day Xiao Yunduan asked the gate guard to pass on the invitation to the Yuezheng family and Xie Jingrong. Then he bought a page boy in his teens and named him Songshi. Finally someone was running the errands for him. Yuezheng Shao and Xie Jingrong replied and said that they could have a meeting the following day. First Madame asked Auntie Hua to send 2 maids to Qiao Xian with some delicious food, saying that she was going to be invited to spend some time at the mansion. Qiao Xian and Xiao Yunduan answered them happily. They spent the first day at home taking a break. The couple came to the house for the first time, so they walked about and touched every corner. The woman said that it was the first madam who had supervised the decoration. Xiao Yunduan and Qiao Xian could tell that it was very carefully decorated. Even the ingredients in the kitchen were all settled ahead of time. There were many trees and flowers in the garden. Some were placed in small pots and had been exquisitely taken care of. At this time the crepe myrtle was in full bloom. Other blooming flowers included the Chinese trumpet vine, hydrangea, gardenia, rhododendron, jasmine, wisteria, etc. They cast down thick shade and drove away heat. There was a square pavilion in the northeast area of the garden, which faced a huge rockery. Chapter 638. Yuezheng Ting. Again in front of the pavilion, there was a small pond of 13 to 14 square meters. In the pond there were beautiful koi swimming around and water lilies. In the shallow water, there were clumps of unknown aquatic plants with golden flowers as high as half a person. They were full of vitality. Qiao Xian and Xiao Yunduan loved the house. They decided to get the family here to spend some time together in the province, after the Mid-Autumn Festival. There was a small market close by, so Qiao Xian, Lixia and Liqiao went to buy some stuff. She decided to cook during the following days. With Liqiao helping around, she could definitely cook 3 meals a day for these people. They bought 30 eggs, 1 chicken and lamb ribs as well as some other fresh vegetables. She was going to stew the chicken and braise the ribs with 2 vegetables. Before that, first Madame sent 2 boxes over. It consisted of 8 dishes and 1 soup. They could not finish it and the day was too hot for the dishes to be kept. Qiao Xian gave some to the maids and guards so that they could share the food with their families. The staff was very glad and thanked the couple. Qiao Xian and Xiao Yunduan settled down in the province. By this point, There were a few wealthy cultivated talents who had already come to the province. They were either living in their own houses or at their relatives'. Some were even stationed at the hostels. They soon started to befriend each other. They exchanged opinions and information. It was very lively. Shao Yunduan went there occasionally but not often. He did not reveal his relationship with Xie Jingrong, but Xie Jingrong gave him the earliest and most comprehensive information, so he did not have to gather up with those people. He could spend more time studying at home or going out with Qiao Xian. That was much more comfortable. Qiao Xian would visit First Madam occasionally, and First Madam treated her nicely as always. First Madam did not want her to cook. She even gave her some good chefs to help her. But Qiao Xian turned her down. She bought the most fresh ingredients in the nearest market, and Li Xia and Li Qiao helped along. So they could cook a meal with 3 dishes and 1 soup easily. It was the province and they did not lack anything. She liked cooking anyway. She could even buy beef every second day. Honestly, she only got to buy beef only 3 times in the county market. Now they were able to eat many dishes cooked with beef. They had stir-fried beef with green pepper, braised beef in brown sauce, Westlake beef soup, stewed beef tendon meat, beef hot pot, beef dry pot, sauerkraut, boiled beef slices, boiled beef, stewed beef brisket, and a hot pot containing beef offal or stewed or fried beef. Each dish was delicious. On her 3rd visit to the First Madam, she ran out of luck and came across Yuezheng Ting. She was about to dodge her when Yuezheng Ting stopped right in front of her. "How dare you come here? Don't you feel guilty?" The guiding maid did not know what to do. So she had to step aside. Qiao Xian was confused. "What do you mean, Lady Yuezheng?" Yuezheng Ting shouted. "You are trying to trick me again. You still haven't told me your actual residential address." Chapter 639. Lipsticks. Qiao Xian had tricked her way too many times, and even good-tempered people would get angry. Yuezheng Ting was never a good-tempered person to begin with. When she realized that she was fooled by Qiao Xian again, she kept pestering Yuezheng Shao and asked him to tell where Qiao Xian lived for real. Yuezheng Shao would not say a thing. He was very protective of his friends. In this way, Yuezheng Ting felt that something was wrong. So did Ms. Mi Jr. But no matter how much they tried, they just could not figure out where Qiao Xian was from. They could not teach her a lesson which they badly wanted to do. So Yuezheng Ting was very furious seeing Qiao Xian here. Qiao Xian sighed and said honestly, "If you want to ask me for anything, you don't have to know where I live, right?" "Sorry." Yuezheng Ting sneered, approached her and asked in a small voice. "Mrs. Shao, are you the manufacturers of the lipsticks at my 3rd brother's store?" Qiao Xian was startled. She countered immediately. "No." Bah. Yuezheng Ting did not believe her. Her mother reached that conclusion. Her mother said that Yuezheng Shao and his whole family really treated the couple too well and never wanted to reveal where they lived. They must have a secret. Logically speaking, the lipsticks were the most reasonable explanation. Yuezheng Ting said quietly, "Don't try to convince me. Why not speak with my mother? You are selling lipsticks to my 3rd brother, but we will offer a better price." Qiao Xian knew that this could not be kept a secret for too long. But Yuezheng Ting guessed it a bit too fast. Still, as long as she did not admit to it, Yuezheng Ting would not be able to do anything. "You have misunderstood me, Lady Yuezheng," Qiao Xian said bitterly. "Okay, I will tell you the truth. We are countryside people and we don't want trouble. We had a row before, so I was afraid that you would come to pester me. Hence, I don't want to tell you where we live. I am worried that you, Lady Yuezheng, will send people to give us trouble." Qiao Xian's speech really made Yuezheng Ting angry. Why do you think of me in this way?" Qiao Xian smiled embarrassedly. "I am sorry to have said this bluntly. But I am very timid and only in this way can I feel safe. Sorry for the misunderstanding, Lady Yuezheng." Yuezheng Ting. How shameless this woman was. Yuezheng Ting felt that Qiao Xian was wary of her and seemed to be on guard. But her words seemed so real as well. No, she was not a narrow-minded person. Qiao Xian was talking nonsense. Just wait and see. Yuezheng Ting gritted her teeth. "Mom will find out the truth sooner or later." Qiao Xian smiled. "Just do as you wish, Lady Yuezheng." Bah. Qiao Xian said goodbye to her and headed to First Madam's place. She felt that she needed to tell Yuezheng Shao about this quickly so when the news spread around, they would know what to do. Qiao Xian was very thankful to Yuezheng Shao. But for this, she would not be able to make these many lipsticks and sell them so well. Chapter 640. Stopping under the premise of not having enough ability to protect themselves, they could master this kind of skill that could make huge profits. But once it was exposed, not only would they not make a fortune, but it would cause disaster and even make them lose money. This was like a 3-year-old child who held gold in his hand and rushed to the market. Qiao Xian did not tell First Madam about what happened. Her own family was into garments and silk, and she had 2 large silk factories as part of her dowry. She had numerous brocades, silk and different kinds of garments in her private possession. She was sorting through them and showed some to Qiao Xian, sharing some knowledge about the garments. That was a rare opportunity. Qiao Xian was very surprised and cherished this moment well. She had learned a lot from First Madam. She was smart and clever. She asked all kinds of right questions and even shared some of her own opinions with the First Madam. First Madam was very gratified hearing that. She liked the young woman even more. Qiao Xian could not speak highly of herself. She was not born in the same era as the rest of them, and it was not rare that she could think of some advanced ideas. First Madam sighed happily as she saw how modest she was. Half a day passed without them realizing it. Qiao Xian had to stay at First Madam's place for lunch. First Madam ordered the kitchen to make sweet and sour squirrel mandarin fish. The taste was very appetizing in summer. There were also light steamed crab powder meatballs, shrimp tofu, cold wolfberry sprouts and beef bitter gourd. The maids were ordered to make jelly and sour plum soup, which were chilled with ice cubes and could be used to cool off after lunch. After a sumptuous meal, Qiao Xian bid farewell to First Madam, since she was very busy with many things in the mansion. First Madam did not keep her but asked her to join her again after a few days. When she was sorting the garments, she gave some to Qiao Xian and asked the servants to pack them. Qiao Xian got too many things from the First Madam, and did not turn down the generosity. She thanked her smilingly. She was going to offer some things from her own home like the fruits, the smoked stuff, snow fungus, the expensive tea leaves, watermelons and so on. But before she was able to leave the Yuezheng family, she ran into Ms. Mi Jr. Greetings, second Mrs. Yuezheng. Qiao Xian stopped to greet her. Mi Jr. sized her up and smiled. Mrs. Shao, my elder sister-in-law really loves you, doesn't she? She does not even treat us like this. What about having a chat with me? Qiao Xian did not want to. But she needed to visit the Yuezheng family often, so she could not escape the woman and her daughter all the time. She nodded unwillingly. I have to accept your invitation, sorry to trouble you, second Mrs. Yuezheng. Ms. Mi Jr. chuckled as she covered half her face with the fan. No trouble at all. You are really good at saying nice words, no wonder my elder sister-in-law loves you. Come with me. Ms. Mi Jr. soon took Qiao Xian back to her own yard. Chapter 641. Feeling guilt. The two sat down as the maid served the tea. After exchanging a few words, Ms. Mi Jr. asked the other servants to retreat, but kept Yunxiao and Auntie Mao. Ms. Mi Jr. stopped smiling and leveled a serious look at Qiao Xian. We are alone now so we can talk about everything frankly. Mrs. Shao, spare me some lipsticks. I don't want many, just 100 or 200 lipsticks will do. I will use them as favors. I will pay you more than Yuezheng Shao pays you. Just think of it as a favor you do for me, okay? Ms. Mi Jr. and Yuezheng Ting were truly mother and daughter, good at intimidating others. They did not even want to conceal what they were up to. Qiao Xian said sincerely, second Mrs. Yuezheng, I understand what you mean. But you have misunderstood me. I do have lipsticks, Aunt Yuezheng gave them to me. I have so many with different colors. I love them. But I am not the manufacturer. Where did you hear such a rumor? You are wrong. Mrs. Shao. Ms. Mi Jr.'s face sank. There is no use pretending, right? Qiao Xian answered. I am telling you the truth. Mrs. Shao, don't be so extreme. If I find out the truth one day you will be embarrassed. Qiao Xian thought to herself. I'm not setting you up or begging you for anything. I am concealing the matter because you are up to no good. If you really find that out, why will I be the embarrassed one? Do you really want me to prove it to you? Sorry, but we are not so familiar with each other. I have nothing to say more if you don't believe me, second Mrs. Yuezheng. Okay, I can tell that you want solid evidence thrown in your face. Just wait and see. Qiao Xian almost laughed in her head. So what? I'm not going to work with you anyway. I will be off now, bye. Ms. Mi Jr. laughed and said, how can my elder sister-in-law treat you so nicely? After all, you should not have anything to do with my elder sister-in-law, right? You should tell me the truth, right? These people were just too nosy. Why was Ms. Mi Jr. interested in who Aunt Yuezheng treated nicely? She did not think that Aunt Yuezheng had any time to care about who Ms. Mi Jr. cared about. She thought for a while and smiled. That is not strange. The other day when my sister-in-law and I went out for a walk, we ran into Aunt Yuezheng who had passed out. So, I helped her to her room along with Auntie Hua. Since then she has liked me, so I feel quite lucky. Like was a very vague word which could not be explained conclusively. That was the only thing Qiao Xian could say. If Ms. Mi Jr. could not understand, there was nothing she could do. Ms. Mi Jr. frowned slightly. She did not like this answer, but she could not find any fault with it. Oh, in that case. Ms. Mi Jr. showed a false smile. You are very lucky, Mrs. Shao. After all, the Yuezheng family is a huge family in the province. You have helped my elder sister-in-law and she likes you. You will have no worries for the rest of your life. Very fortunate for you. Chapter 642. Ms. Mi Jr.'s anger. Qiao Xian smiled as a way to agree with what she heard. She was lucky. Otherwise, she would not have got the superpower, or the space, or the husband with a huge potential, as well as a mother-in-law like that. She even had so many properties that earned her the money, as well as friends like Yuezheng Shao, Aunt Yuezheng and Xie. But her silence made Ms. Mi Jr. feel angrier. Ms. Mi Jr. believed that she was shameless and did not hear her sarcasm. Hopefully you will have this luck forever. Thanks, second Mrs. Yuezheng. Okay, then you can go back now. Ms. Mi Jr. found herself very annoyed after Qiao Xian left. She did not like what she heard from Qiao Xian. Where did this wild girl appear from? How can she be so lucky? She really feels so good about herself. My elder sister-in-law has picked the wrong person. Yunxiao and Auntie Mao added fuel to the fire. The three of them kept cribbing about this. Qiao Xian denied that she had anything to do with lipsticks, but Ms. Mi Jr. was still skeptical about it. She asked Yuezheng Shao to come to her place the moment he stepped into the mansion. Yuezheng Shao. Ms. Mi Jr. smiled. Mrs. Shao was here with me. She said that as long as you agreed, she would give me half of her lipsticks. You won't turn me down, right? The production amount was apparently doubled compared to that from last year. But it was still too little compared to the market demand. They were always out of stock the moment they came on the shelf. Especially the limited version which appeared in the market. The whole province was shocked after the launch. Numerous rich ladies and madams went into the store to watch the show. They could only take a look at the treasure. In the meantime, they bought many other things in the store. Everyone felt so jealous about it. Two lineal ladies from the Xie family bought one set each. Yuezheng Ting asked Yuezheng Shao for one, but he turned her down, saying that the limited version had already been booked. What a liar. Yuezheng Ting and Ms. Mi Jr. both felt so annoyed. They turned to Madame Yuezheng to inquire about this, and she asked Yuezheng Shao, who still gave the same answer. The mother and the daughter were very annoyed. Yuezheng Ting had already bragged that she would have one set, but she did not dare to attend any banquets for those ladies, fearing that someone would ask to take a look at the limited version. Ms. Mi Jr. could tell that the profits of lipsticks were far more than she had expected. One store would make so much money without the manager doing anything. Moreover, the lipsticks were so fascinating. Both of them wanted them so much. Ms. Mi Jr. sneered at Yuezheng Shao for not having a partner who manufactured enough of these. The Yuezheng family could offer the ingredients and the partner could just produce more. That would earn them more than the tea leaves business that they had now. But what she did not know was that Qiao Xian had been expanding the scale slowly. She had limited labor force, and she could not be too showy about it in case some trouble came to her door. She was going to expand the products and venture into things like perfume and handmade soaps. But not right now. Chapter 643. Eagerness to gain. Yuezheng Shao respected her decision, and did not get himself involved in the production. But in Ms. Mi Jr.'s eyes, that was dumb and stupid. Yuezheng Shao did not believe Ms. Mi Jr.'s claim. Qiao Xian was never going to make a promise to Ms. Mi Jr. without telling him first about it. His second aunt-in-law was trying to be smart, wasn't she? She was thinking of tricking him as if he were 3 years old. What are you talking about, second aunt-in-law? I don't understand. Ms. Mi Jr. smiled. Stop pretending in front of me. That is not funny. I will put in some capital for your lipsticks business. You won't lose anything. You are joking, second aunt-in-law? Yuezheng Shao smiled. Why is Mrs. Shao involved again? That business has nothing to do with Mrs. Shao. She never talks about things which have nothing to do with her. Mi Jr. felt very annoyed by what she heard. You are humiliating me. You are a man and cosmetics aren't a good business for you to be involved in. Why bother? You can give me the business. I promise you that you will earn more than what you have today. You will not lose anything. Why turn me down? To put it straightforwardly, I want this business. We can work together. I promise never to ruin your interests. In Ms. Mi Jr.'s opinion, the business was really profitable. She only needed to get as many products as she could, without bothering about anything more. It would simply help her earn money and contacts. She had never been as earnest to a business deal as this one. She really wanted to get it. Yuezheng Shao sneered. He got up and said, "Second aunt-in-law, you are really strange. If I want to expand the scale, I have my own capital. Why should I share the profits?" "You are so annoying, second aunt-in-law." Ms. Mi Jr.'s face sank. After a while she said, "Then tell me, is Mrs. Shao behind the lipsticks? Can you swear that you won't lie?" "Why should I swear about it?" Yuezheng Shao asked her curiously. "That is a business secret, second aunt-in-law. Sorry, I can't reveal a thing. Don't be upset. I'm leaving now." Mi Jr. sneered as she looked at Yuezheng Shao's retreating figure. "Nothing can be concealed forever. I will see how much longer you will be able to hide the secret. You won't be able to do it for long because there are too many people who are interested in lipsticks." Yuezheng Shao knew what she was thinking. But he was confident enough to be able to safeguard Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan. It seemed that he would need to get the Xie family involved and share some profits with them. The Xie family had an imperial background and they were a noble family. The Xie family should be able to safeguard whatever they wanted to. They were capable enough to do so. Soon it was July, and the 20th would be the day for examination. There were already many cultivated talents who were in the province. The hostels were filled with people, and many scholars dressed in long robes and square hats could be seen at restaurants and tea houses. Luckily, Shao Yunduan had a yard where the two of them could stay without being disturbed. It was spacious and quiet enough. Shao Yunduan studied accordingly, and sometimes he attended the gatherings held by the scholars. Chapter 644. Lan Shao Yunduan kept a low profile. No one knew that he was a close friend with the lineal grandson of the Xie family and the young master of the most wealthy Yuezheng family. He remained absolutely low-key at the gatherings. He drew no attention to himself. But he ran into some cultivated talents from the same county and was mocked. Some people who did not know the truth looked down at him as well. Shao Yunduan did not care. He replied without showing emotions. "Whether or not I am able to make it to the next level doesn't depend on your words. It depends on the actual result." Not everyone was belittling him though. Shao Yunduan had befriended two cultivated talents from another county called Lu Min and Gu Zhio. It was the second time for Lu Min to take the examination and the first for Gu Zhio. The three of them had a nice chat and soon became friends. On July 12th, the biggest scaled gathering took place before the examination. Shao Yunduan attended it as well. Qiao Xian had looked through every corner of the province, and she was very interested in the outskirts. She was thinking about buying some nice fields. She could not get the good fields, which were very popular among landlords and rich people. She stood no chance at acquiring those. But she could buy drought fields. If she could buy a few hundred mu or at least 100 mu, she could plant the cassava and the creeping figs as well as a few other fruits. In this way she would be able to get the ingredients for the dessert stores. She was thinking that if the southern fruits like longans, lychees, mangoes and dragon fruits as well as papayas and grapefruits were all growing well at home, she could get some to grow here as well. Those were excellent materials for desserts. She had decided to expand the lipsticks, perfumes and handmade soaps at the village or in the neighboring areas. She could help the villagers to become rich, so that no one outside the village would be able to break in. Qiao Xian rented a wagon and went out of the town with Wuxia and Qiao, when Shao Yunduan was out for his gathering. They went traveling to see if there was any land she could buy. On this day the three of them went to the southern suburb 10 miles away. They hiked through a forest and soon entered a flat and wide valley. Qiao Xian liked this land very much. The slope was gentle and the valley was wide. Although it looked like there was a lot of gravel and a few boulders taller than a person pop out from time to time, it was no problem planting scallops, cassava, and fruit trees on this land. More importantly, she could even get a spring at the end of the valley. With the spring she could use her superpower and everything would be fine. But for the rocks here, she would not have the chance to acquire this place since it was difficult to open it. Qiao Xian liked this land. The valley, together with the gentle slopes on both sides, plus the other side of the ridges and slopes over the gentle slopes, was a large area. Altogether, there was at least 600 to 700 mu in total. It would be worth the while though. Qiao Xian was calculating it in her head when she pointed at the slope, asking Wuxia and Qiao, "How about going up there to have a look at the land?" Wuxia got the meaning and smiled. "You want this land, don't you?" Chapter 645. Young Master Qiao asked in an uncertain voice, "You want this land? But there are so many rocks on it. You can't get anything to grow here." Wuxia smiled. It can be used to plant roses and Chinese roses. Qiao thought for a while and nodded. Yeah. Qiao Xian answered as she walked. You're wrong. I'm not going to plant those things here. You can have a look at it first and then you will know. The three of them talked and smiled. The slope wasn't high, but after a quarter of an hour they reached the ridge. The slope on the other side was low too. It could be bought as well. By this point she was almost certain about this. The three of them had been visiting many places these days. Sometimes Shao Yunduan would keep her company too. Out of all those places, Qiao Xian liked this land most. That was the best place with enough space. Qiao Xian suddenly pointed at the feet of the mountain, then turned to her maids. Is that young Master Xie? Li Xiao and Li Qiao had never seen Xie Jingrong before until their visit here to the province. They had eyes widely open but still shook their heads. I can't see clearly, me neither. Qiao Xian sighed. Right, she had her superpower and could see things through easily. She was a lot more sensitive in every way. In fact, Qiao Xian did not usually use superpower to check around usually. She did not like to dig into people's secrets. But when she used her superpower, she could tell that it was Xie Jingrong and his servant. As Qiao Xian looked into the direction he was heading, Qiao Xian was shocked. Yuezheng Ting? Yuezheng Ting was waiting for him down next to a large tree. So Yuezheng Ting was waiting for Xie Jingrong? Was it what she thought? That was strange. Shao Yunduan and Qiao Xian could tell that Yuezheng Ting liked Xie Jingrong. So Xie Jingrong should have seen that too. But how could he set a date with Yuezheng Ting in private? Something was wrong. Qiao Xian used her superpower to look around. Shao Yunduan's gathering was at a side place of some noble family. Shao Yunduan had said to her that Xie Jingrong would be present too, but why was he out seeing Yuezheng Ting? Qiao Xian found that something was wrong. So, the three of them went downhill to take a look at the situation. Let's figure out what's happening. The three girls were very fast as they came downhill. Qiao Xian led the way and they were close to the place now. Xie Jingrong had already come to Yuezheng Ting by this point. Xie Dong and Yuezheng Ting's maid were not standing very close to them. Qiao Xian gave her maids a wink. So, the three of them went and hid in the shrub not very far away. She could see everything within sight but they could not hear what the two of them were talking about. Qiao Xian used her superpower and caught everything that Li Xiao and Li Qiao could not. What do you want so that you can return the fan to me? Xie Jingrong sounded really angry. Apparently he and Yuezheng Ting had talked about this already, but there was no conclusion. Chapter 646. Not planned. Qiao Xian was startled. A fan? Xie Jingrong's fan was in Yuezheng Ting's hands? For scholars, a fan was very private. It represented their identity. If the fan was written with his calligraphy, it could be given away as a gift. No wonder Xie Jingrong wanted to get the fan back from Yuezheng Ting's hands. Qiao Xian could not help but feel that Yuezheng Ting was really good at this. She even stole the fan from Xie Jingrong? Brother Xie. Yuezheng Ting looked at Xie Jingrong with a gentle and sweet voice. You don't like me? But I like you so much. Lady Yuezheng, be careful with what you say. I don't think that I have ever said anything to make you misunderstand me. I will pretend that I never heard your talk today. My fan is a private thing. Lady Yuezheng, you can return the fan back to me now. If you don't want to give it back to me, I can just say that I lost it accidentally. Honestly, it is just a fan, nothing that important to me. If Yuezheng Ting told the public saying that Xie Jingrong gave it to her as a love gift, would Xie Jingrong agree with that? As long as he said that the fan was lost, people would definitely trust him more than Yuezheng Ting. If he really fell for Yuezheng Ting, he would just get the matchmaker to make the proposal and the Yuezheng family would definitely say yes to that proposal. This process was never needed. Also, everyone knew that Yuezheng Ting liked Xie Jingrong, including everyone from the noble families in the province. Yuezheng Ting would be stupid enough to blackmail Xie Jingrong to marry her. She was too innocent. She would only cause trouble for herself. The Xie family would never allow a woman like this to set up their lineal grandson. Xie Jingrong appeared here because he was, after all, Yuezheng Shao's friend, and he did not want to ruin the relationship too badly. He also wanted to put the truth straightforwardly in front of Yuezheng Ting. Moreover, he had painted the fan when he was in the best state, and it would be very difficult to paint an equally good one. That was a rare occasion and he had some personal print on it too. It would be best if he could get it back. He felt quite bad to have to let it go. But Yuezheng Ting had touched the fan and he would never use it again. Yuezheng Ting's face sank. She started to cry and seemed very pitiful. Brother Xie, why am I not good for you? Please tell me I can change myself. Why don't you give me any chance? Qiao Xian's lips twisted. She felt speechless. It was really shameless of her to continue to bother the person who had turned her down. What was the point of doing this? Xie Jingrong lost patience. He frowned and asked quietly, "Why should I give you a chance?" Ting was startled. Her eyes were widened. Qiao Xian was surprised too. A gentleman like Xie Jingrong would be so sharp. Ting would be too stupid if she continued to bother him after hearing that. Apparently Ting felt even more motivated. She sobbed. "But I truly like you so much." Chapter 647. Bothering Xie Jingrong. How do I care? Qiao Xian. That was a very strong stab in the heart. Sure enough, Ting could not stand it anymore. She covered her face and burst into tears. Seeing that, Xie Jingrong asked, "Are you returning the fan or not?" He hated women like Ting. Such women pretended to be innocent but were actually very arrogant. They thought highly of themselves and did not care anything about people around them. So annoying. He just did not understand why people like them would want to force people they liked to admire them back. Why did they think that by bothering them constantly, they would definitely reach their purpose? He just did not expect that Ting would get herself dressed up as a man and steal his fan to set up a date with him. What she did not know was that he hated to be calculated. That would make him feel even more disgusted. Holding the fan, Ting was sobbing without saying a thing. Xie Jingrong's eyes sank. He was thinking that if she did not want to return the fan, he would just tell others that he had lost it somehow. But he really did not want anything of his left behind in Ting's hands. He wanted to take it back. "If you don't give it back, I will turn to Brother Yuezheng for help." Ting was startled and cried even more loudly. "Brother Xie, you are so cruel. Okay, what about keeping me company for 2 quarters and you don't have to say a thing? I will give it back to you after 2/4 of an hour, and I will stop pestering you from this moment on." Xie Jingrong did not understand what made her say so. He could not help but look at her. Ting smiled bitterly. "Brother Xie, you can't even say yes to this small request?" Xie Jingrong felt silent. Obviously he agreed. Ting wiped her tears and smiled on the sly. Qiao Xian just did not understand what Ting was doing. She would give up her obsession after 2/4 company from Xie Jingrong? Since when did she get so enamored with this man so she could belittle herself like this? That was different from how Ting should behave. Qiao Xian did not walk out and started to think. Sometime later her face changed. Due to her superpower, she could see a few farmers from the neighborhood coming over with baskets and blades around their waist, sneaking their way here. They were whispering to each other. "So, we need to be witnesses, right? Nothing else." "Yeah, that lady promised to give us money when we shout what we see. That lady is very interesting. No more talk, we just need the money." "Yeah, Tenliang." Qiao Xian suddenly realized what was happening. Ting got Xie Jingrong to stay because she wanted the villagers to see her and Xie Jingrong alone. The Xie family would need to save the girl's reputation. Moreover, the Yuezheng family was not a small household and Shao and Xie Jingrong were good friends too. Ting was really bold to have come up with the plan. But she was so stupid. Xie Jingrong could not be forced to marry someone like her. He would not even touch her if they got married. Chapter 648. Countering. In fact, Ting might end up being in a terrible situation. Did she really think that she could turn his mind around? How stupid she was. Qiao Xian did not care about what she was thinking. But she did not want Xie Jingrong to get set up by this horrible trick. Pondering over this and seeing the villagers arriving very soon, Qiao Xian walked out with Li Xia and Li Qiao, acknowledging them. "Young Master Xia, Lady Yuezheng, greetings." Ting's face changed. She snapped loudly. "What are you doing here?" Xie Jingrong smiled after a moment of surprise. "Mrs. Shao. Greetings." Ting was so annoyed and said with displeasure, "Mrs. Shao, didn't you see that Brother Xie and I are here? You should leave us alone." Qiao Xian was very surprised. "Didn't you run into each other accidentally? Why are you dodging?" Ting almost wanted Qiao Xian to prove that she and Xie Jingrong were alone here. But Qiao Xian did not seem to be interested in thinking it that way. She knew that Qiao Xian was countering her. Xie Jingrong smiled loudly. "Mrs. Shao, you are right." Then he suddenly seemed to think of something and threw a speculative look at Ting. He realized that he must have missed something. But with Qiao Xian here he was totally assured. Qiao Xian was cursed by Ting inwardly repeatedly. She interrupted rudely when she saw Qiao Xian and Xie Jingrong starting to talk. "Mrs. Shao, we are here, where are you headed to? Maybe you should leave now?" Qiao Xian smiled. It doesn't happen every day that we run into each other. We can walk together. 1 a.m. not planning to go anywhere specific. Xie Jingrong developed a bad feeling towards Yuezheng Ting. How could she say such misleading words? So he said to Yuezheng Ting, Lady Yuezheng, watch out what you say. You and I just ran into each other, that is all. Yuezheng Ting felt so ashamed when she heard him speak so indifferently. Suddenly, some farmers appeared on the path and they were shocked seeing the scene as well. So was Xie Jingrong. Then he threw a cold look at Yuezheng Ting and looked imposing. Yuezheng Ting was panicking as if she had been seen through. Brother Xia, let's just go. Xie Jingrong was not stupid. The farmers suddenly appeared for a reason, and they seemed confused when they reached the place. There was definitely something amiss here. He almost understood what was going on. After all, he had witnessed and heard many conspiracies happening in inner mansions. But he had not expected that Yuezheng Ting would have dared to do such a thing. What are you doing here? Did she get you here? Xie Jingrong threw a look at Yuezheng Ting and asked them straightforwardly. Well, the farmers turned to Yuezheng Ling subconsciously, looking hesitant. Qiao Xian almost did not want to continue to watch this. These farmers had no idea how to conceal their inner expressions. They were just asking Yuezheng Ting through their expressions. Should we tell the truth? Yuezheng Ting snapped at them. What are you looking at us for? I don't know, that was totally different from what they had promised. They only had 5 qian as advance and had thought that they would get 10 liang in total. So they panicked. Chapter 649, Yuezheng Ting's plan backfires. What are you talking about, lady? You are the one who got us here. You wanted us to be the witness of you being along with this young master. Now you are breaking the promise. Yeah. Also, you promised to give us 10 liang each. You need to give it to us now that we have completed the task. Yeah, we dropped our work to come here. This place is very far away. You have to give us the money. Yuezheng Ting was so ashamed that she screamed loudly. You lowly farmers, what are you talking about? I don't know you at all. Just go away. Those farmers were so stupid. 10 liang, they could have asked her for the money at any other occasion. She would have paid them to shut them up. But they were foolish to reveal everything in front of Xie Jingrong. That was akin to killing her. They would never get any money. Those farmers had been worried that Yuezheng Ting would break the promise, and seeing that she was trying to get out of her commitment, they panicked. You are a city lady, yet you are lying to us? You found us and now you are claiming that you don't know us? We came here for the money, else we will never do anything so unethical like this. Yeah, you must give us money or you will not be able to leave today. You are all mental. Farmers. I don't know what you are talking about. Someone bought you off, right? Who did? Yuezheng Ting tried to sidetrack the fire at Qiao Xian. Qiao Xian did not bother to defend herself. Speechless. What a talent in transferring the target. Qiao Xian did not utter a sound. That made Yuezheng Ting feel that she had found an anchor. Her back straightened up as she pointed at Qiao Xian. You are speechless, aren't you now? Brother Xia, look at her. She tried to set me up. Xie Jingrong ignored her and asked Xie Dong to give 100 liang to the villagers. Speak the truth now. With the payment, the villagers all cheered up and sold out Yuezheng Ting completely. Well, it was her own fault. She had been planning this since the gathering. She did not think her maid would be enough as proof, so she met the farmers and told them her plan. She did not even bother to conceal her face. In her opinion, it would just be one casual meeting and they would have no intersection with each other ever again. So, it did not matter if they had seen her face once. She spared no efforts to sneak into the gathering and got Xie Jingrong's itinerary to arrange a meeting. She tried to express her love to him, and if Xie Jingrong was moved, they would leave together without being seen by the farmers. If he failed to notice how good she was, she would use the plan. She would throw herself into Xie Jingrong in front of the farmers. When that happened, Xie Jingrong would need to take responsibility. She was sure that he would like her sooner or later. By that time, nothing she planned today would be worth a fuss. She loved him so deeply and was just trying to set him up for their future happiness. It was all because she loved him. Chapter 650. Not end, but Qiao Xian popped up from somewhere and ruined her whole plan. Even the farmers sold her out right in front of Xie Jingrong. Hearing that, Xie Jingrong glanced at the farmers. You can leave now. Okay. Thanks for the bonus, young Master Xie. The farmers left the place cheerfully. Yuezheng Ting got both annoyed and embarrassed. She could not stand being slapped on the face, especially in front of Xie Jingrong. Mrs. Shao set me up, for real. Brother Xia, you have to believe me. I never planned anything like this. Ignoring her, Xie Jingrong turned to Qiao Xian. Want to leave, Mrs. Shao? Qiao Xian nodded with a smile. Please. They had to walk this road together. What if Yuezheng Ting did something else if she was gone? Then what Qiao Xian had done earlier would be in vain. Xie Jingrong gave Xie Dong a glance. Xie Dong understood his meaning. After Xie Jingrong and Qiao Xian left, he came to the sobbing Yuezheng Ting. Lady Yuezheng, please return the fan. Yuezheng Ting stiffened, sobbing without moving. Lady Yuezheng. Xie Dong sounded disdainful and annoyed. You are a lineal lady of the Yuezheng family, what is the point of doing this? Yuezheng Ting stiffened and lost her grip. Xie Dong pulled the fan out of her grasp and left. His young master had saved her reputation by not pointing it out in front of everyone. But he would never do that. He wanted to reveal these shameless people's true faces. Yuezheng Ting staggered and almost collapsed. She had lost her mind. Both Xie Jingrong and Qiao Xian were a little embarrassed. Sorry for the ridiculous show, Mrs. Shao. Qiao Xian replied. That is not your fault, young master. You are an excellent man, so many people want to court you. Xie Jingrong smiled bitterly. He did not think that he was an excellent man. He was courted mostly because of his family background. Most people would respect him when they heard where he was from. Did Yuezheng Ting really worship him like this? Not necessarily. She admired him because he was the lineal grandchild of the Xie family. But he was not going to forget how she set him up in this way. He was a cold and lethal person after all. It was an embarrassing topic, so Xie Jingrong coughed and smiled. What made you come here, Mrs. Shao? It was his luck that Qiao Xian ran into him here. Else he would have been in a really awkward situation here. Yuezheng Ting would not have been able to achieve success, but the process would have been much more complicated. Qiao Xian smiled. My husband is at the gathering. So I came out with 2 maids to explore the surroundings. What a coincidence that we ran into each other. Xie Jingrong said, Thanks for your help, Mrs. Shao. Qiao Xian was involved and Xie Jingrong did not conceal anything from her, but told her why he ended up being here. In the end he said, Mrs. Shao, you better not visit the Yuezheng family these days. I won't let go of this matter easily. And Yuezheng Ting might cause you trouble, so you have to be very careful these days. Better stay indoors? Qiao Xian was startled. She had not thought about this before. She nodded. Thanks for the reminder, young Master Xie. Chapter 651. The fan. Xie Jingrong thought for a while and said, Sorry for the trouble, Mrs. Shao. I will watch out in case there is any trouble coming for you due to this. Qiao Xian felt relieved hearing what Xie Jingrong said. She was sure that he would definitely keep his promise. Hence she was not going to worry. Thanks for your help, young Master Xie. That is what I should do. Xie Jingrong and Qiao Xian would not have thought about this otherwise, but Yuezheng Ting was a little too dangerous. She tried setting up Qiao Xian right in front of her, and she might do something even worse in secret. The two of them did not go on the same path because they did not want to cause any rumor between them. They waved goodbye to each other at the feet of the mountain. It was getting late and Qiao Xian went home with Li Xia and Li Qiao in town. Xie Jingrong headed towards the gathering. Xie Dong presented the fan to him. Young Master Xie, this fan, Xie Jingrong frowned slightly. Keep it with you and put it away once we are home. He did not want to touch it. He felt quite distressed to have wasted his excellent work. Xie Dong was annoyed too. Okay, young master, one will definitely put it away and leave it out of your sight. What a pity. Xie Jingrong felt that his words were funny. Xie Dong added. We were lucky that Mrs. Shao was here, otherwise, Xie Dong felt both disgusted and scared. He understood clearly what Yuezheng Ting's plan was, seeing how she liked his young master and the farmer's timely appearance. But for Mrs. Shao, his young master would have been in trouble. They would have been able to deal with her in the end, but it would have taken far more effort. Xie Jingrong's eyes sparkled. He answered. Yeah, very lucky indeed. Xie Dong said emotionally, thanks to Mrs. Shao. Xie Jingrong didn't reply to him. He did not think that her appearance was pure luck. He even felt that Qiao Xian appeared intentionally to help him. But he could not find an explanation for this thought. Anyways, Mrs. Shao was very interesting. Xie Jingrong was not in a mood to attend the gathering, but thinking that Shao Yunduan was still there, he should visit there anyway. He was not a friend to Shao Yunduan on the surface, but Qiao Xian helped him and he could help Shao Yunduan on the sly in case he was being bullied. So he went to the gathering after all. It was not until evening when the gathering finished. The scholars and talents waved goodbye to each other and left. But, in the second section of the Yuezheng family, it was total chaos. Yuezheng Ting was crying when she returned home and she could not stop doing so in front of her mother. The episode was too embarrassing and hurtful for her. She had never experienced such shame as on this day. She lost her face in front of the man she adored, and it felt as if heaven had fallen down. Ms. Mi Jr. was shocked to see her daughter crying in an abandoned manner. She consoled her for a long while before she was able to stop herself. After a long while she stopped crying and started to talk. Yuezheng Ting did not tell her the truth. She did not even dare comment on Jingrong. She simply blamed everything on Qiao Xian. She said that she ran into Jingrong and was in the middle of conversation with him when Qiao Xian suddenly popped up and accused her of flirting with Jingrong. Chapter 652. Venting the anger. She even said that Jingrong trusted Qiao Xian's words and did not defend her. Instead, he let Qiao Xian humiliate her. In the end, Qiao Xian even lured Jingrong away, so that she and Jiang were left alone there. Ms. Mi Jr. almost passed out in anger after hearing the story. How dare that countryside girl treat you like this? How dare she? Shame on her. It must be your elder aunt who was behind this. She has not liked us for a long time, and now that she is back from the abbey she intends to remove us. But for her authorization, Qiao Xian would not have had the guts to do something like this. I will speak with her now. Mom? Yuezheng Ting stopped her. She did not dare let her go to First Madam. What if it became too big a trouble to deal with? She wanted to vent her anger, but she did not want the issue to become too big. She would be exposed. After all, her elder aunt was a tough one. She believed in her mother's capabilities, but if her mother and elder aunt had a confrontation, the result would be hard to tell. Elder aunt would never admit to it. Maybe she will accuse you instead. Why bother? Ms. Mi Jr. agreed with her. But after a while she thought and said, You are right, let's go to your grandma. She loves you and I will speak with her about it. No, grandma would bring an elder aunt as well, the result would be the same. Yuezheng Ting sneered. You don't think that grandma can control elder aunt, do you? Madame Yuezheng could have control over the second section of the family, but never the first section of the family. Madame Yuezheng was only tough on the outside, never inside. Ms. Mi Jr. became really irritated. She was not convinced, but she dropped the idea of visiting Madame Yuezheng. She could not help but regret not having a son. If she had a son, he would surely defend her, and Ms. Lu would not have bullied her like this. But how can I tolerate that you have been bullied so badly? Ms. Mi Jr. gritted her teeth. How can young Master Xie be so stupid as not to tell the right from wrong? Yuezheng Ting did not reply. Ms. Mi Jr. stared at her and had some hope arising inside her heart. She asked gently. What did you talk about when you ran into young Master Xie? If he has some misunderstanding about you, it is fine. You can ask your brother to set a date between the two of you, and you can reveal Qiao Xian's real face at that time. Ms. Mi Jr.'s eyes brightened. How does that sound? She had not expected that her daughter and young Master Xie ran into each other and spoke with each other for a while. The matter looked hopeful. Things would get better as long as they worked hard. Maybe young Master Xie would be moved by her daughter's devotion? This was a good omen. But if Qiao Xian ruined this deed, it would be such a pity. Yuezheng Ting stiffened. What should she do now? She had told a lie and it was coming back to bite her. She started to get anxious. Especially when she thought of how Jingrong had treated her. He was so cold to her and even asked the farmers what her plan was. Yuezheng Ting felt like screaming. She was going mental. Chapter 653. Humiliation again. How should she face Jingrong when they meet again? What would she do if he exposed her? Mom, let's wait for a while. Brother Xie misunderstood me and he must be very angry. Just hold on until he calms down. Dumb girl, Ms. Mi Jr. did not agree with her daughter's cowardly approach. You should work on the matter when it is hot. You can clarify the misunderstanding when you are in front of each other. If you wait for too long, things will get worse. No, I will wait a little until Brother Xie calms down. Also, I don't want to let go of this issue with Qiao Xian. Yuezheng Ting gritted her teeth. I want to vent my anger. She was not convinced about giving up on Jingrong. She had exposed herself to Jingrong already and she could do anything she wanted with him. What if he was moved? Even if he was not moved, she would face humiliation once more. So what? She had been humiliated already anyway. But that matter could wait. She really had no courage to stand right in front of Jingrong just after this episode. Ms. Mi Jr.'s face sank. She sneered. Okay, let's vent our anger at her. How dare this bitch humiliate you just to suck up to Ms. Lu? I'm going to let her pay for it. She should know who she is and what she should not touch. She can't offend just anyone she wants to. Yuezheng Ting loved these words. She asked instantly. Mom, what is your idea? Ms. Mi Jr. smiled at her daughter. That woman's future is tightly connected to her husband. If we cut her husband off from the imperial examination, he will have to admit that it is his wife's fault that he didn't get to attempt the examination. You think her days would be peaceful from that time on? Yuezheng Ting was overjoyed. Mom, that is a great idea. Ms. Mi Jr. patted her hand with a smile on her face. You are still young, you have a lot to learn. I will pass on some knowledge to you. But remember, either you make sure the person you take revenge on suffers for the rest of her life, or you don't do it at all. Yuezheng Ting smiled and nodded. You are right. You want Auntie Mao to bribe the examiners? But that is not very easy. Why examiners? Ms. Mi Jr. sighed, thinking that her daughter was very innocent and lovely. She said seriously, the imperial examination is very important and we can't bribe the examiners. If something happens, the whole family will be killed. Remember, whatever you do, you have to keep yourself safe first. Otherwise, it would just be empty talk. Yuezheng Ting's heart was throbbing. She nodded constantly. Oh, got it. Then what are you going to do, Mom? Ms. Mi Jr. sneered. It is very easy. I will get Shao Yunduan's legs or hands broken, so he has no chance to take the examination. Also, no cripple can become an officer ever in his life. Yuezheng Ting smiled. That is a good idea. L somehow made everything complicated. Ms. Mi Jr. smiled gently. You are too young to understand any of this. Chapter 654. Fearless. The mother and daughter leaned against each other, looking beautiful and charming. But in fact they were talking about the worst and most indecent plan in the world. Ms. Mi Jr. asked Yuezheng Ting to take a break, whilst she herself started to work on the matter. The problem was that she had no idea where Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan were living. So, she asked Auntie Mao to dig around the servants catering to the first madam. As long as she knew where they lived, things would become much easier. Many people had gathered for the examination. Those cultivated talents were blending with some business people. So, there were lots of people around. Even if some accident happened, no one would be able to find the source. Also, that poor couple would have no idea how to find the truth, if they met some trouble. They just did not have the right channels in the province. Those who might defend them would definitely her own elder sister-in-law and her nephew. But they would not be able to find out anything since she was part of the Yuezheng family, and even if the cause was found, they would not do anything to her. They would not announce it to the public either. Worst case scenario, even if they did, they would feel so ashamed to be involved with the Yuezheng family as well. Madame Yuezheng would not approve of that. So, there was nothing Ms. Mi Jr. needed to be afraid of. But before she could do anything, first Madame sent her people to summon her. Ms. Mi Jr. was confused. How did she offend the first section of the family? What did Ms. Lu ask her for? She had to go over since the summons had come from the first Madame. She was curious about the matter and went there readily. First Madame was not in a good mood. Yuezheng Shao had just been to her place and recounted the whole story to her about what Yuezheng Ting did earlier that day. Xie Jingrong had asked his servant Xie Dong to recount the story to Yuezheng Shao. Xie Dong really wanted to add fuel to the fire and report about Yuezheng Ting's behaviors. But his young master had strict rules and he did not dare to make up false stories. There used to be a page boy who was trusted by the young master and trained well by him. He had the chance to become the best servant working for young master. That would have been a great achievement for a servant. But there was one time when he did what he believed to be good for young master and did not obey his rule. In the end he was fired. From that time on, no one dared to bet on their own future. Yuezheng Shao got so furious hearing the deeds of Yuezheng Ting. But for his relationship with Xie Jingrong, the guy would not have told him about this and the whole family would be doomed. How could someone dare to set up the lineal grandson of the Xie family? Yuezheng Ting was an idiot to have used such a method. Only she was foolish enough to believe that the plan would work. The truth was that it would never have come to fruition. The Xie family would never allow anyone with such an evil heart to become their lineal granddaughter-in-law. It was such a daydream. But since it was his sister, Yuezheng Shao could not go to her personally. So, after speaking with Xie Dong, he passed on the matter to his mother. First Madame was so annoyed. What on earth did the Yuezheng family do to make the mother and the daughter come up with such a terrible plan? Did she think that she would be able to marry anyone just by being the lady of the Yuezheng family? Chapter 655. Different words. First Madam, who had been dreaming of having a daughter for the first time, thought that she was lucky not to have a daughter. Otherwise her reputation might have been ruined due to this episode. Elder sister-in-law, I wonder what you have called me over for. Ms. Mi Jr. smiled brightly. She was trying to control her emotions so that she did not vent them on First Madam. Sit down please, I have something urgent to tell you. First Madam had no interest in chit-chatting with her. She threw a look at Auntie Hua. Auntie Hua, tell her. Okay, First Madam. Auntie Hua had just started the narration when Ms. Mi Jr.'s face changed. Bullshit. Elder sister-in-law, where did you hear this story that humiliates Ting? Did Xiao Xian tell you about it? Bah, everything she told you is false. First Madam was surprised that Ms. Mi Jr. mentioned Xiao Xian, because Xiao Xian was a part of the story after all. She thought for a while and then realized what had happened. Yuezheng Ting told you something, right? Okay, no outsider is here, and Auntie Hua's story would not be revealed to anyone else. Don't interrupt her now. Let her finish and you can defend yourself later. Also, Xian did not tell me any of this. Xiadong, who works for young Master Xia, told Shao, who mentioned it to me. You don't think Xiadong would lie, do you? Young Master Xia's servant did everything according to young Master Xia's intention. Ms. Mi Jr. was still not convinced. No, listen to Auntie Hua first. Continue speaking, Auntie Hua. Okay. Auntie Hua bowed and continued with the story. Ms. Mi Jr. was about to interrupt her when First Madam's cough covered it up. Ms. Mi Jr. had to grit her teeth to hold back the impulse. She just did not believe anything that was told to her. It was just a fabrication. Finally, Auntie Hua finished the story and Ms. Mi Jr. could not stand it anymore. Elder sister-in-law, that is not possible. I don't believe anything that has just been said. This is called bullying. Oh yeah. First Madam thought that she would at least feel embarrassed after hearing the truth, but she was only trying to push the blame to someone else instead. First Madam laughed out of anger. You think it was me who told Auntie Hua to lie to you, or are you suspecting Xiadong? You think the servant who works for young Master Xia would make up a lie? What a bold thought. Ms. Mi Jr. was stuck speechless. But she knew pretty well that no matter how much First Madam disliked her, she would not get Auntie Hua to make up such a big lie. It was not going to be easy to hold a lie like that forever. Moreover, she could not suspect Xiadong either. But that is not what happened anyway. Ting's version wasn't like that. Ms. Mi Jr. chose to believe her own daughter. Also, her daughter was in tears when she saw her today. She could not have made up a lie. First Madam sneered. Oh yeah, what did Ting say? Ms. Mi Jr. had not wanted to reveal it to the First Madam, fearing that she would ruin their last hope of getting related to Xiejingrong. But she could not hide it anymore. Also, if she didn't mention it, her daughter would be accused of something she didn't do. Ms. Mi Jr. narrated to the First Madam what Yuezheng Ting told her, and she even tried to make it sound that First Madam had told Xiao Xian to do so, suggesting that First Madam must have asked Xiao Xian to trick Yuezheng Ting. First Madam almost passed out hearing her speak all that nonsense. You just believed everything Ting said? Chapter 656. Falling, of course. Ms. Mi Jr. defended herself. Ting never lies to me. I am her mother. First Madam almost wanted to shake her or pour a basin of water over her so that she could calm down and think rationally. Just think about this. First Madam almost did not want to explain anything to her but had no choice. Just think about what Xiadong said and what Ting claimed. Who on earth is lying? Ting did not mention anything about the fan? Are you trying to say that Xiadong came up with something like that out of nowhere? Also, a girl from our family needs to steal a fan to force a meeting with the guy she likes? How ridiculous. It must be a misunderstanding. Ting must have forgotten to tell me. What about those farmers? How dare she set up Xian who ran into them? She is totally uneducated. Elder sister-in-law, you don't care about the details? Ting stole the fan and forced young Master Xia to have a private meeting. Do you think Xiadong could lie about this too? And the farmers? Are you looking down on people's intelligence here? Also, honestly, it was lucky that Xian was there and interrupted them. Otherwise, Ting was trying to make the farmers become the witness to her date with young Master Xia. That is so shameful even when I speak of it here. You think she could have succeeded with this method? That is so foolish of her. You think that would have worked out well? Young Master Xia is the lineal grandson of the Xia family and his wife is going to become the honored lady of the Xia family. Ms. Mi Jr. could not stand listening to it anymore, she almost lost it. But elder sister-in-law, why are you looking down at my daughter? My daughter can definitely become the honored lady of the Xia family as well. First Madam sneered. If the Xia family comes with the proposal, then we can accept it. But she made a bad plan. You think the Xia family are so easy to manipulate? I don't believe you. That is just one side of the story. Unless young Master Xia tells me about this face to face, I will never believe that it happened like this. Her daughter was so cute. How could she lie to her? First Madam became even more annoyed. You think that is possible? Honestly, even Xia Dong would not repeat the story in front of you. You think the Xia family are people to be summoned and driven away as you wish? You can ask Jianghu who has been serving Ting. You can interrogate her. Honestly, even though we don't live separately, the Xia family understands what is going on here. We have never offended them and my son and young Master Xia are good friends. If you continue to behave like this, you will need to bear the consequences yourself. We will not offer any help. I have told you everything here, you can think about what to do yourself. Ms. Mi Jr. She just could not vent her anger at First Madam. First Madam was not thinking for her sake. She was telling the truth. She was going to keep her hands away regarding this issue. Honestly, she should be happy when First Madam wanted to stay away from them, but somehow she felt quite displeased after what she just experienced. Mi Jr. bluffed. You don't have to bother, elder sister-in-law. One will look into this matter myself. She left with a sunken face. First Madam whispered to Auntie Hua. Watch out for her. See what she is going to do but don't get involved easily. Chapter 657, Last Resort. Okay, First Madam. The more Ms. Mi Jr. thought about this, the angrier she became. She called Jiang to her side despite the late hours. Even to this point she still trusted her daughter. She was ready to take her to First Madam and let her tell the truth post this. However, after a few harsh words, Jiang shivered and confessed everything to Auntie Mao. The more she talked about this, the more embarrassed Auntie Mao and Ms. Mi Jr. became. That was not a confession. It was a slap on their faces. But Jiang did not know about this. She got even more frightened seeing their increasingly horrified faces. She saved nothing and blurted out the smallest detail. Jiang felt that she could be spared after her honest confession. But Ms. Mi Jr. was so annoyed after Jiang's frank words. There was a very bad atmosphere inside the room. Jiang, think carefully. What you said is the absolute truth. You should never lie to second Mrs. Yuezheng. Or you will not be excused when the truth is found. Jiang turned pale. She nodded constantly and kowtowed to Ms. Mi Jr. Second Mrs. Yuezheng, I am telling the truth, no lies. I don't dare lie to you at all. Bitch, your job is to serve the young lady but look at what you did? Why didn't you say anything at the beginning? Did you encourage her? My daughter is always so obedient and kind. How can she do something like that? It must be you who told her to. Ms. Mi Jr. wanted to get Jiang killed. No, second Mrs. Yuezheng, I didn't. I would not dare. You dare to do anything because young lady adores you. Auntie Mao, send this bitch to the wood room. We will deal with her later. Okay, second Mrs. Yuezheng. Second Mrs. Yuezheng, please, it wasn't me. Please? Jiang was shocked and cried. But soon she was gagged and dragged away. Ms. Mi Jr. vented her anger and snapped at Jiang. Auntie Mao added fuel to the fire, saying that Jiang must be the bad influence on her lady which made her behave like that. She was trying hard to make Ms. Mi Jr. look better. After all, Ms. Mi Jr. was slapped right across her face by First Madam earlier. She was very irritated. After a long while Ms. Mi Jr. calmed down. What was she going to do? Ms. Mi Jr. massaged her temples and felt a headache come on. In the end, Jiang took the blame, and Ms. Mi Jr. had no face to tell First Madam about this. She turned to Yuezheng Shao, hoping that he could explain to Xie Jingrong that it was Jiang's fault. Yuezheng Shao rolled his eyes. Everyone knew what Yuezheng Ting's feelings towards Xie Jingrong were. Besides, could a maid like Jiang really make the plan on her own? Even if Jiang did make the plan, Yuezheng Ting was her mistress. She was the one who put it into practice. Had she refused to do so, what could Jiang do about her? Second aunt-in-law, don't worry, I will tell Brother Xia about this and he will not pursue it. If he wanted to work on this, he would have come to me personally, rather than let Xia Dong come to me first. But this can only happen once. If Brother Xia is irritated again, I would not be able to do anything. After all, no one likes to be set up again and again, right? Also, my cousin is old enough to get married. What about finding a good suitor for her? I'm sure that she will mature after she is married. He wasn't sure if she was going to become sensible after getting married. At least she was not going to ruin his family. Chapter 658. Due to Qiao Xian MS. Mi Jr. felt embarrassed hearing the advice from her nephew, but she needed Yuezheng Shao to pass on the message for her, so she had to force a smile. You are right, it is time to find a suitor for Ting. Soon Jianghu was sold away. Ms. Mi Jr. gave Yuezheng Ting another maid called Li. Yuezheng Ting did not like her because Jianghu had been serving her for a long time. But Ms. Mi Jr. said that someone had to take the blame, so Yuezheng Ting was silent. She could not take the blame herself for the sake of Jianghu anyway, right? She liked Jianghu but she could not sacrifice herself for a maid. So she asked mother to give Jianghu more money for old time's sake. Ms. Mi Jr. agreed but forgot directly afterwards. She was sold away. What was the money for? Jianghu could not be kept no matter how much money was given to her. Xie did not talk any more about this. Yuezheng Ting also stopped trying to get close to Xie. Xie was never going to meet her again. If he did not want to meet her, she would never be able to see him no matter what. Mi Jr. realized that it was how it should be from this moment on. She was thinking about finding a suitor for Yuezheng Ting. But Yuezheng Ting did not understand the importance of this incident. She thought that it was already history and she would still have a chance to meet Brother Xie. Yuezheng Ting did not want to let Qiao Xian slip away from this either. But for Qiao Xian, Jianghu would not have been sent away and she would not have been so embarrassed. Maybe at this moment, the Xie family and the Yuezheng family would have been talking about their engagement. It was all Qiao Xian's fault. Ms. Mi Jr. was very annoyed too. She was embarrassed in front of First Madam. In order to turn the tables, she was going to give Qiao Xian a hard time as well. Qiao Xian and First Madam were very close to each other, weren't they? When she finally found out Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan's residential address, Ms. Mi Jr. was shocked. She had liked that mansion and wanted to buy it too, but she hesitated because of the price. When she finally made up her mind to buy it, she was told that the house was already sold. She had asked the identity of the buyer, but the agent said that they wanted to keep it a secret. So she didn't ask anything more about it. Many buyers did not want to reveal their identity. She had felt sorry about losing the house. Unexpectedly, the house belonged to Shao Yunduan and Qiao Xian. They could not have been able to afford the house. It must have been the First Madam who bought it for them. But then she thought, what if they were able to afford it? If they were able to afford the place, it was definitely because they earned a lot by selling lipsticks. Either of the scenarios made Ms. Mi Jr. feel angry. Since the autumn examination was coming soon, she was going to ruin Shao Yunduan to vent her anger. But Ms. Mi Jr. had not expected that First Madam was watching out for her. Whatever Auntie Mao did was under First Madam's watch. So, the morning when Shao Yunduan kept Qiao Xian company to buy things in the market, the hooligans bought by Ms. Mi Jr. decided to cause some trouble with the couple. But they were caught promptly by First Madam's men. They were all sent to the government office. First Madam stressed that the officer interrogated them in a strict way. In the end, it was found out that Auntie Mao's brother was responsible for this attack. When Auntie Mao's brother was caught, he sold out Auntie Mao without hesitation. Chapter 659. Looking down at the court. When the governmental office sent the guards to catch Auntie Mao at the Yuezheng mansion, Ms. Mi Jr. had tried to hide Auntie Mao, but First Madam let the guards come in. Auntie Mao was escorted away. She was completely devoted to Ms. Mi Jr. and did not sell out her master. She took the blame herself. She kept saying that she did not like the way Qiao Xian treated her second Mrs. Yuezheng, so she arranged the whole plan privately just to take revenge for second Mrs. Yuezheng. She only mentioned Ms. Mi Jr. but not Yuezheng Ting. After all, she did not want to ruin Yuezheng Ting's reputation. That was quite thoughtful of her. Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan were not hurt, but since Auntie Mao's plan was to hurt the examination participants, she had committed a serious crime. The imperial court really paid attention to talents and the imperial examination. If the criminals were not punished seriously, it would encourage anyone to hurt the participants. Malicious people could buy some hooligans to kill or hurt the talented ones and have a servant to take the blame. That was horrible. That was belittling the court. So, the officer in the governmental office decided to set up an example with Auntie Mao and her brother. He ordered that Auntie Mao and her brother were going to be imprisoned, and then exiled to the South Island, thousands of miles away. They would never be allowed to return. Second, Mrs. Yuezheng from the Yuezheng mansion did not know anything about this, but the whole thing was caused by her. Since the culprit was working for her closely, she was ordered to provide a compensation of 10,000 liang to Xiao Yunduan along with an apology. Auntie Mao and her brother regretted their actions so badly at the moment. But there was no chance for them to change their words. No chance. The sister and brother regretted it. They were crying hard. South Island? That was a barren land. And never to return? That was horrible. Auntie Mao had thought that Xiao Yunduan and Xiao Xian were not hurt and second Mrs. Yuezheng would help her too. So, she would probably only get some hits on the back and a few lectures or imprisonment for half a month, which was not too bad. That was a punishment she could bear. Moreover, second Mrs. Yuezheng would help her so she would not need to suffer much. But the whole thing turned out to be so serious. Second Mrs. Yuezheng was annoyed too. She rushed to First Madam. Elder sister-in-law, don't you think that you are behaving way over the top for someone outside the family? You are ruining our family's reputation. Don't you ever forget that you are also part of the Yuezheng family? First Madam looked at her coldly. The difference between you and me is that you never talk sense. I will not mind my reputation if I am doing things against immorality. If you ever care about the Yuezheng family, you would never have done a thing like this. You are the one who makes the mistake and still you are not learning from it, instead you are pushing it all to me. I am telling you, Xian is not someone outside the family. She and I get on well with each other. I have not officially asked her to become my goddaughter, but I treat her as my real daughter. You better remember this, if you ever want to set up her in Yunduan, you will be my enemy. If you are my enemy, I won't spare you either. Ms. Mi Jr. shivered out of anger. She almost lost her breath. First Madam sneered and added. Also, you think that it was I who made Auntie Mao get so seriously punished and you lose the money? Ms. Mi Jr.'s face sank. Not you. Of course not. I'm not lying to you. You can think carefully about who else is involved in the matter? Chapter 660. Retreating NIS. Mi Jr. knew that First Madam would not lie to her at this moment. But who else was involved? She suddenly got shocked and let out a low exclamation. First Madam sneered and figured that this woman had finally understood what was going on. How could that be possible? Ms. Mi Jr. sounded hoarse, angry and jealous. Xie Jingrong did it? What was so special about Xiao Xian and Xiao Yunduan, that young Master Xie did all of this for them? Moreover, he was doing this against her. That meant only one thing. Young Master Xie had no feelings towards her daughter, rather he hated her. Otherwise he would not have done things like this. Ms. Mi Jr. was jealous and felt heart pumping hard because of anger. Her daughter loved him so deeply, but Xie Jingrong not only disliked her, but also did such a cruel thing to her. First Madam felt relaxed seeing the way she was distracted. This woman should be taught a lesson too, or she would think that she was capable of everything. Now you got it? You know what reality is, the reality, and what you should do and not do. Ms. Mi Jr. gritted her teeth and left. Yuezheng Ting was so irritated and disappointed. She complained about Auntie Mao being completely useless. She said that Auntie Mao not only failed to touch Xiao Yunduan and Xiao Xian, but got herself punished. Worse, her mother had to compensate Xiao Yunduan and Ojao Xian with 10,000 liang. Mom, we can't just drop it. I don't think that they are always going to be so lucky. Ms. Mi Jr. felt sad for her daughter. She said quietly, drop it, Ting. The officer said that we can never touch Xiao Yunduan. Not only Xiao Yunduan but everyone else in the capital was also very cautious towards those participants, in case they ran into trouble if they ever tried to hurt any of them. Yuezheng Ting sneered. Then we can leave Xiao Yunduan alone. We can deal with Xiao Xian. She is not a participant. Ms. Mi Jr. was startled. Mom, Auntie Mao has been punished so seriously and you have been fined 10,000 liang. You really want to let it go? Ms. Mi Jr. was somehow persuaded. But the moment she recalled what First Madam said to her, she retreated. She was trying to convince herself that First Madam was not better than her. But if First Madam really wanted to become her enemy, she would not be able to counter her. After a moment of hesitation, Ms. Mi Jr. shook her head with a sigh. Okay, just drop this. Stay in the mansion and don't go anywhere. There was a rumor going on outside. Even she decided to stay indoors in case she got asked about anything that just happened. Yuezheng Ting was not convinced. But she said nothing more. First Madam sent her people to ask Ms. Mi Jr. when she was going to apologize to Xiao Yunduan and Xiao Xian and give them the money. That was an order from the governmental office, which she could not dodge. Ms. Mi Jr. felt so annoyed and sought the help of Madame Yuezheng, but First Madam ignored them both. So the next day Ms. Mi Jr. went to Xiao Yunduan and Xiao Xian's home, accompanied by the First Madam. Ms. Mi Jr. knew that if she tried to evade it any longer, First Madam would definitely send more people to urge her and she would be badgered again and again. So, she decided to finish it as soon as possible in case she got constantly harassed. Xiao Yunduan and Xiao Xian did not give her a hard time. She apologized to the couple and gave them the money. That was the end of the deal. Chapter 661. Fully prepared. Xiao Xian and Xiao Yunduan did not lack this money. But they needed to do this for First Madam's sake. They wanted to return the money to the Yuezheng family, but First Madam did not accept it. The officer made the decision, so that is what you deserve. If you don't accept it, that would be disrespectful to the officer. Xiao Xian and Xiao Yunduan expressed their gratitude and accepted the money. Xiao Xian said with a smile, "Aunt, you are here for the first time, how about staying back for lunch? I will cook some dishes for Aunt." Mi Jr. did not want to stay there any longer. She forced an apology out of her mouth and gave them 10,000 liang, and left, without any intention of looking at the couple for even an extra second. First Madam was happy to remain where she was. "Sure, let me stay and taste the food you make." Xiao Yunduan remained there for a while and then went back to continue with his studies. He had gone through everything, but there were still a few days left and he would rather read and practice. Xiao Xian kept First Madam company in the garden for a while, before going into the kitchen to make dishes. She knew that the First Madam liked something light, so she asked Li Xia to get the ingredients ready and she was just in time to do the cooking. At this time, crabs were available in the market. She removed the crab roe and crab meat and fried them into crab powder. It was served with soft and smooth tofu, making it a delicious and smooth crab powder tofu dish. The glutinous rice soaked with meatballs was steamed in a drawer, and the crystal clear glutinous rice meatballs were ready. She sprinkled it with green onion, which made it fragrant and eye-catching. She cut the pigeon into 4 pieces and stewed soup with ginkgo fruit, lotus seeds and wolfberry. For the chicken dish, young hens were selected. The meat was extraordinarily tender. After processing, she put it on a plate and drizzled it with seasoned scallion oil. It was a scallion oil chicken that blended the fragrance of scallion and meat, and the chicken was tender and delicious. She also cooked a dish of eel with soy sauce and 2 portions of seasonal vegetables. Xiao Yunduan ate in his own study, whilst Xiao Xian kept First Madam company at the dining table. First Madam had not expected that Xiao Xian was so good at cooking. She was so surprised that she spoke highly of Xiao Xian. Especially the scallion oil chicken and glutinous rice meatballs. She had not eaten things like this before. The rest of the dishes were also different from the ones she tasted before. It seemed that Xiao Xian cooked them better. No wonder she liked Xiao Xian. She was so smart and clever and she could do anything. Xiao Xian would never have a bad time because of this skill. How blind her father was to have deserted someone like her. First Madam sighed whenever she thought about this. Soon it was time for the autumn examination. Despite her confidence in Xiao Yunduan, Xiao Xian and the maids were very nervous. Xiao Yunduan felt quite moved in heart. "Wait for me here, I will definitely make it." "Yes, darling. You will surely succeed." The couple smiled at each other sweetly. Xiao Yunduan raised his hands to brush away Xiao Xian's hair, saying in a soft voice, "For your sake I will make it." "What?" Xiao Xian raised her eyebrows and looked confusedly at him. She did not catch his words. "Nothing." Xiao Yunduan shook his head. "Wait for me to come back." Xiao Yunduan went on the wagon and disappeared against the dawn. Xiao Xian and Li Qiao did not return to the yard until the wagon went around the corner. Chapter 662. A bit more. Xiao Yunduan was going to spend 9 days in a row giving the exam. That made Xiao Xian's hair stand up. Honestly, ancient literati were definitely not weak people. Otherwise they would not make it through even 1 day of such tough conditions. Anyone who could survive the test was definitely very healthy and strong. Xiao Xian felt a bit hollow in heart. She was both nervous and excited. Although it was too early to make a conclusion now, the future looked bright. She believed that Xiao Yunduan was going to make it. She was very confident about him. In the morning, First Madam asked she to take some pastry and fresh peaches, grapes and some fruits and visit her. First Madam would visit her when she found time one of the days. Xiao Xian felt warm in her heart. She was grateful for the support. It was lucky for her to have met someone like First Madam and her family. During these days when Xiao Yunduan was taking the examination, Xiao Xian went to visit the First Madam a few times, But the rest of the days she just stayed at home and waited for Shao Yunduan. Yuezheng Shao sent his men to Shaoding village to fetch 2 carts full of watermelons and 1,100 lipsticks. They also brought news about the first section of the family to her. Yuezheng Shao asked his men to send 2,800 liang and 10 watermelons to Qiao Xian, along with the message that everyone was doing well in her family. Qiao Xian smiled and felt assured. She and Shao Yunduan had been away from home for far too long this time. It was a relief that everything was fine at home. 9 days passed eventually, and Yuezheng Shao took his servants to pick up Shao Yunduan. Qiao Xian joined them too. The wagon was parked in a corner, a few blocks away from the examination hall. It could not go in front of the main gate. Moreover, there was a traffic jam in the area. First, Madame had told her to wait in the wagon, so that Yuezheng Shao could go and pick Shao Yunduan with his men. She was a young woman and did not have to get accosted by the crowd. If an accident happened, it would be really bad. Shao Yunduan had been training physically and he often did some farming at home, so he was relatively fitter. Still, after spending 9 days in the exam hall, he looked very weak and there were prominent, dark circles around his eyes. He looked quite pale. He barely held on when he met Yuezheng Shao and Songshe. He managed to smile and went up to greet Yuezheng Shao. Some people simply collapsed at the sight of their brothers, family and servants. A few people could not even wait for their people to arrive and fell down halfway. Darling. Qiao Xian was waiting anxiously and looked around. When she spotted him, she waved at him, her eyes sparkling. Shao Yunduan saw her and smiled brightly too. He could not help but feel warm and wave at her. Qiao Xian climbed down the wagon and greeted him. Thank goodness you are all right. Let's go home. Okay, darling. You have worked hard. I am fine, it was not really that hard. Yuezheng Shao rubbed his nose and felt that he should not be intervening at this moment. Still, he cleared his throat with a smile. Hey, I am still here. Chapter 663. Yes, Zhao Xian was startled. She was blushing, but Shao Yunduan remained calm. He responded in composure. Thank you for today, brother Yuezheng. Would you like to come and have some tea at home? Yuezheng Shao waved his hands and shook his head, looking at him with a meaningful smile. No thanks. One don't want to impose myself upon you today. You should go home now. Brother Xie and I will visit you tomorrow. The couple had been away from each other for a long time and they needed our union. He knew that. He was not going to be the third wheel under the circumstances. Shao Yunduan knew that he must have misunderstood something. Without explaining anything, he nodded and said, Okay, we will be waiting for you to come tomorrow. Okay. Seeing Shao Yunduan getting onto the wagon with Qiao Xian, Yuezheng Shao smiled and went back to his mother. His mother was really fond of Qiao Xian, not just because she saved her husband's life. She truly liked Qiao Xian as a person. She was very devoted to Qiao Xian, even more than she was towards her own son. She did not even ask him when he was planning to get married. Seeing Shao Yunduan's composure, he believed that Shao Yunduan must have done well in the examination. Xie Jingrong had given him enough study materials. When they were discussing the content in the past, he did not understand anything, but it sounded profound. So, he should be capable of making it to the next level. In the wagon, Qiao Xian passed a cup of honey tea to Shao Yunduan. Darling, drink some tea to moisten your throat. Qiao Xian could not help but feel sorry for Shao Yunduan. She had never seen him look so pale like this. The examination time was just too long. The tea cleared his throat and had an aftertaste of lemon. Shao Yunduan finished it all and felt refreshed again. Darling, I should make it to the next level this time. Shao Yunduan sounded calm and looked confident as he said this to Qiao Xian with a smile. He was never an arrogant man. If he said that he could clear it, then he would. Qiao Xian believed him. Actually, when she saw him approaching her from afar, she somehow felt assured in heart. That's good. We will have good news to share with the family. Shao Yunduan nodded and showed an excited look. We will pass on the news to Officer Qiao as well. He will be glad to. Shao Yunduan had seen through Officer Qiao. He was going to be very friendly to him if he made it to the next level, even though he looked down at him earlier. Shao Yunduan will definitely have a promising future if he made it to the next level and would be of great help to Officer Qiao. Shao Yunduan did not care whether Madame Qiao would be pleased or not. Qiao Xian felt that it was a very pleasing thought. It was going to be so much fun looking at Madame Qiao's face at that time. She smiled brightly. Yeah, we will go together to tell them the good news, right? The couple exchanged a look and smiled. The hot water bath was ready. Shao Yunduan went to take a bath and wash his hair. He changed his clothes and felt quite fresh. Qiao Xian had already stewed black-bone chicken, along with red dates, ginkgo and lotus seeds, which had been stewed with rock sugar and white fungus to make a delicious soup. She offered it to her husband. "Drink some soup and have a good rest. I will cook you a big dinner tonight." Chapter 664. Good thinking. When Shao Yunduan was away, she felt that the whole house was empty, though he was the only one missing. Once he was back, the empty feeling suddenly disappeared. It felt as if the home was complete again. She did not try to purposefully feel SP. She just had a slight sense of easiness, relaxation and quietness. Shao Yunduan looked gentle and answered happily, picking up the soup bowl to drink. The chicken soup had been stewed long enough to be fragrant and delicious. The aroma of red dates and ginkgo blended with the aroma of chicken. Every mouthful warmed the stomach and quickly replenished the energy of the body that had been consumed, making his mood change for the better. Shao Yunduan suddenly felt greedy. He wished that this kind of warmth and peace would never be taken away from him. Shao Yunduan felt tired and needed to relax and rest. After finishing the soup, he went back to the room and slept. Li Xiao and Li Qiao were glad and exchanged a few happy words with Qiao Xian, congratulating her. They had been living so freely and happily after moving to the Shao family. Hence, they wished that the Shao family would get better. In this way they could just stay with the Shao family forever. Qiao Xian was glad but did not lose her rationality. She reminded them. The result is not certain yet, so nothing can be sure until the final result is out. We can talk amongst ourselves but no conversation outside. If someone asks about this, don't say anything, alright? Some neighbors kept asking about Shao Yunduan's situation, when they ran into each other in the market. Li Xia and Li Qiao nodded sincerely. Don't worry. Yeah, we are not in a hurry. We will be patient. The result will be out soon and at that time we will talk about this freely. Yes. Qiao Xian, that was the right plan. Do remember to keep your mouth sealed. For dinner, Qiao Xian made gastrodia alata pigeon soup, cooked soft-shelled turtle and chicken nuggets, steamed mandarin fish, shrimp and egg, green pepper beef, garlic lettuce, fungus and yam. It was to treat Shao Yunduan well. He ate casual food during the past 9 days and must have been fed up. He was lucky that Qiao Xian had prepared some dried pork and beef to help him sustain during the tough period. Shao Yunduan was glad to see a table full of dishes. He was greedy to have them all. Qiao Xian noticed the way he reacted. Feeling satisfied and glad, she said modestly, "These are just casual dishes I have cooked. Eat them to make yourself energetic again." Shao Yunduan smiled brightly. "Okay, I will eat it all." Qiao Xian felt her heart sweeten and she smiled. "Help yourself." Shao Yunduan smiled slowly, and picked steamed mandarin fish with chopsticks for Qiao Xian. The snow-white fish was dipped in a rich sauce. It looked tender and delicious. This dish had always been Qiao Xian's favorite. "Sorry to worry you. Darling, please eat some too." Chapter 665. Her husband Qiao Xian was flattered. "You know how to please me. You also eat, don't just concentrate on giving food to me." Shao Yunduan replied instantly. "You can feed me too. Anyways, you don't need to please me. Everything I own is yours." Qiao Xian smiled brightly. "That is cool. But my things are still my things." Shao Yunduan laughed. "Of course." The following day, Jianghu and Yuezheng Shao came to visit them, and did not leave until after lunch. Shao Yunduan spent the following few days keeping Qiao Xian company at home. Post that, having been invited by Lu Min and Gu Zhio, he went out to meet some other participants. They talked about the result of the examination and everyone sounded hopeful. They kept discussing what the answers should be and who would be the provincial champion this time. There were numerous guesses going around. Shao Yunduan heard the news but was not moved by these small rumors. There was no fluctuation in his heart. He did not care about the rumors because he had access to the official channel to hear the truth. If anything really happened, the Xia family should definitely know about this and Jianghu would not conceal it from him. The date of the result was soon revealed. Everyone was talking about it. Some casinos even set up the bet about who would be the provincial champion. Many popular ones were ranked in the list. Qiao Xian looked at the list and found that Shao Yunduan was not included in the candidate list, in any of the casinos. She felt really displeased. How could her husband not be mentioned in the betting list? Her husband was such a diligent and excellent man. Qiao Xian dressed up as a man and went to the biggest casino in the province. She did not place her bet on any of the candidates. Instead, she put forward the name of Shao Yunduan. She bet that Xiao Yunduan would become the provincial champion. Qiao Xian knew enough about the imperial examination. A cultivated talent was a very difficult level to achieve, and the recommended man level would be even harder to reach. The advanced scholar level was the most difficult, since the examination only took place once every 3rd year. In the whole country only 300 people were accepted. Just the name sounded so difficult. Actually, she wasn't sure if Xiao Yunduan could become the provincial champion. If Xiao Yunduan could achieve the title of the recommended man, he would be considered excellent. Still, Qiao Xian felt that Xiao Yunduan's intelligence should not be ignored. He deserved to be at least on the probable candidate list. So, just for the talent of her husband and her belief in him, she was going to make a bet. The owner of the casino looked at Qiao Xian as if he were looking at an idiot. He laughed. The others laughed as well. What is his name again? I don't know, never heard of him. Well, maybe they have some news, maybe this man really has become the provincial champion. That is impossible. It would either be Guiltv or Zhang. No one else is expected to make it this time. Qiao Xian remained unconvinced. The result has not been announced yet. Anything is possible. You are drawing a conclusion too early. Xiao Yunduan has always kept a low profile and he is modest. I believe that he is capable. Just tell me if I can make a bet here or not. If not, I will go somewhere else. Chapter 666, Xiao Yunduan's reputation. Of course you can. The owner smiled. But if you are the only one who makes the bet and you are putting a very small amount on it, we can't even open it. If you want to make a bet, it needs at least 1,000 liang, okay? The owner was very eager to get the money. Qiao Xian asked him, what is the compensation rate? Was she really going to make the bet? The owner was motivated and answered enthusiastically. 5 times. Honestly, the most popular candidates would have the return of 3 times, and the 2 most popular ones had a rate of 1.5 times. The casino was trying to earn money, not giving out money. 5 times were a lot. Everyone booed. This was going to be a great show. Qiao Xian smiled. Okay then, my bet is that he is going to win. Here are 5,000 liang. Qiao Xian brought out 5 notes of 1,000 liang and placed them on the table. Everyone gasped. Then someone clapped excitedly. Good, very brave. Haha, what a stupid person. 5,000 liang is too little. Add some more. The owner was startled, but soon he smiled. He put away the money and gave Qiao Xian the invoice. He smiled. Keep it as a souvenir. Everyone laughed and looked at Qiao Xian mockingly as if she were an idiot. Qiao Xian smiled. I will definitely keep it safe to get my money. Be prepared to have 25,000 liang ready for me. The owner laughed confidently in return. Don't worry, we never cheat. Qiao Xian snorted. Good. She believed that the casino would be able to afford the compensation, since they were rich. Also, she had the Yuezheng family behind her. She was not worried that they would be able to cheat. Later, Qiao Xian found 3 more casinos and put 5,000 liang each as the bet. The other casinos were surprised and found it funny. So they followed suit and increased the compensation rate to 5 times. Some others also wanted to have fun, so they put down the money as well. Xiao Yunduan, as a candidate, received a minimum of 100 liang in each of the 4 casinos. With this, Xiao Yunduan's name became popular. Guiltv and Lu Min were shocked. Who did it? They soon realized that maybe Xiao Yunduan could make it as the provincial champion. Xiao Yunduan had always kept a low profile and he never bragged or talked big. But he was very learned and they did not know how knowledgeable he was. They even teased him that they would make a bet to support him. Xiao Yunduan laughed. Xiao Yunduan knew that it was his wife who started the bet. But Guiltv and Lu Min did go to support him by putting down 5 liang each. They were not from a rich family after all. Back at home, Xiao Yunduan laughed at the sight of Qiao Xian. Qiao Xian felt a little guilty but not overly so. She said confidently, I'll believe that my husband should have a name on that list for luck's sake. You won't blame me for splurging, will you? Chapter 667. Support, of course not. Xiao Yunduan chuckled. As long as you are happy. Instead, one want to say thank you for thinking so highly of me. Qiao Xian was quite cheerful. I'll just don't want them to look down at you. Don't be stressed, we will accept the result no matter what. Xiao Yunduan smiled. Yeah. Actually, he was sure that he would make it to the next level and would attain a good rank on the list. But his wife really had a high expectation of him, so he felt a little stressed now. As the news spread around, Yuezheng Shao was amused and went to make a bet as well. He stood by Shao Yunduan's side. But he did not think that he should trespass Qiao Xian, so he only bet 3,000 liang in each casino. Hearing the news, Ms. Mi Jr. laughed and then sneered. She even went to talk about this to First Madam. She claimed that Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan did it on purpose just to make Shao Yunduan famous, and even coaxed Yuezheng Shao to splurge. Yuezheng Shao spent more than 10,000 liang on this, and that was a huge amount. First Madam was amused hearing that. She kept asking Ms. Mi Jr. for more details. Ms. Mi Jr. felt even prouder. Elder sister-in-law, now you see the couple's real face, and slapped right across First Madam's face. So she told her every little detail. First Madam smiled. Thanks for telling me this, second sister-in-law, or I would have had absolutely no idea. Ms. Mi Jr. felt even prouder. Elder sister-in-law, now you see the couple are up to no good. They didn't dare to tell you in case they ruin your reputation after getting benefits from you for free. First Madam replied. They have never tricked me or got anything from us for free. Why do you keep saying so? This is a very interesting thing though, why didn't my son tell me about it? Auntie Hua, go and get 20,000 liang to make a bet. First Madam also believed that she should not go past Qiao Xian. She was the aunt and she could stand shoulder and shoulder with her. Ms. Mi Jr. did not know that it was Qiao Xian who started it. But First Madam and Yuezheng Shao knew clearly that it was she who was behind all of these. What are you doing, elder sister-in-law? Ms. Mi Jr. was shocked and soon got furious. She was being slapped by First Madam now. First Madam said, nothing serious, just making a bet. Join us if you want to. Ms. Mi Jr. staggered. Elder sister-in-law, you are trying to trick me? Oh. First Madam smiled. What does this have to do with you anyways? You have overthought this matter. Ms. Mi Jr. was startled and got stuck speechless. First Madam was going to place a bet and that had nothing to do with her. But First Madam would not have made the bet if she had not spoken of this in front of her. Her telling First Madam was one thing and First Madam knowing about this and making the bet was another. First Madam never promised anything to her. Elder sister-in-law, you are bent on making me unhappy, aren't you? Oh, I see, I am not half as important as that outsider. Ms. Mi Jr. was about to leave in anger after saying that. Second sister-in-law. First Madam stopped her and said coldly, you and I know pretty well what you have done during all these years. We all know that, but we don't bother to talk about it, understand? Chapter 668. Good news, second sister-in-law, do you really think that I am so forgiving not to care what you did to us before? Don't keep harping on the fact that we are a family. Don't you feel guilty saying this? Ms. Mi Jr. felt both angry and embarrassed. She snorted and left. Auntie Hua soon got the money and asked the housekeeper to place the bet. The housekeeper informed her that the rate had been adjusted to 3 times. That was because the money put in was so huge that the casino had to change the rate. First Madam felt that it was a pity, but the casinos were also in a dilemma. Not many people made the bet, but the amount was always huge. The initiator put down 5,000 liang, and then came someone with 3,000 liang, then another person with 3,000 liang. That made them feel hesitant. It was 11,000 with all of those put together. If they lost, it would be 55,000 if the bet was lost. That was not a huge amount. What if someone added to the amount? So the owner decided to adjust the rate. Sure enough, one day after the adjustment, someone with 5,000 liang came to place a bet. Those who were watching the show felt that Shao Yunduan might have some competence, so they decided to try their luck as well. So after one day more than 500 liang was taken in, the owner was totally shocked. What was everyone doing here? Who on earth was the first person who started all of this? He really wanted to ask him if he had any inside news that made the person do this. Otherwise, why so generous? They all knew that the young master placed a bet of 20,000 liang in 4 casinos at one go. But they were never going to find that young master anymore because Qiao Xian did not show up again dressed as a man. The governmental office understood clearly that everyone was eager to see the result. So the office urged that the paper should be examined as fast as possible. 5 days later it was time for the result. Shao Yunduan went out with Songsher to check the list. Yuezheng Shao joined them. Xie Jingrong was not in a good position to do so, so he did not show up. He did not reveal his identity when making the bet at the casino. He asked Xie Dong to find someone outside the mansion to do so. Qiao Xian was waiting anxiously at home with Xia and Qiao. They started to panic while they were waiting. They just could not help but think about the worst case. What if, well, one never knew about the future. 4 hours passed and the wagon finally showed up. Qiao Xian's eyes brightened, and she almost had her heart popping out. The wagon pulled over. Songsher got out of the wagon and passed on the congratulations. Qiao Xian let out a sigh of relief. She went up and saw Shao Yunduan and Yuezheng Shao coming out of the wagon. You made it to the next level? Congratulations. Shao Yunduan took hold of her hands with a smile. Darling, congratulations to you. You can have all your money back. Really? Qiao Xian screamed and was shocked by the unexpected happy news. She felt that she was already floating in the clouds. You are the provincial champion? You really are the provincial champion? Actually, she was not sure if Shao Yunduan could become the provincial champion. She made the bet because she wanted Shao Yunduan to have what other candidates had. Chapter 669. Low profile. She did not lack money. She could always earn it back. She was just being generous while placing that bet. Seeing Qiao Xian's bright smile, Shao Yunduan also felt really pleased. He felt happier now compared to the time when he knew that he was the provincial champion. Shao Yunduan nodded and grinned. Yes, I am the provincial champion. So, you will be Mrs. Provincial Champion from this moment on. Qiao Xian blushed and started to get a little shy. She nodded with a light smile and her eyes lit up. She could not stop smiling. Yuezheng Shao glanced at the couple and touched his forehead. He was the third wheel again, wasn't he? How embarrassing. Well, brother Shao and sister-in-law, you better get ready for the official messenger. I am afraid that there will be many people coming to congratulate you later today. Oh yeah, we should prepare for it. Qiao Xian suddenly realized what was going on. She asked Shao Yunduan and Yuezheng Shao to stay there whilst she, along with Wuxia and Qiao, went to make preparations. The governmental office would come to pass on the news and offer some bonus. The participants and the neighbors would also walk in to congratulate him. So they needed to prepare tea, candies, pastries and some snacks. They didn't have much stuff at home, so she asked Qiao to buy them. Qiao was asked to boil the water in the kitchen whilst Qiao Xian had the tea and teacups ready. Sure enough, 1 hour later the governmental office delegation came over. Shao Yunduan's good news had already spread to the neighborhood. Lu Min and other participants knew about this too. Many people came to the yard and passed on the congratulations. Yuezheng Shao sent across 10 page boys and maids to help, so that they were not too busy. Lu Min and Guiltv also made it to the next level, with Guiltv ranking the last, and Lu Min placed somewhere in the middle. But they were already very satisfied by the result, and gave the most sincere congratulations to Shao Yunduan. They were young and were lucky to have achieved this result. Their future was filled with various possibilities. They had the energy and time to advance to the next level after this. They had been to Shao Yunduan's home, so it was alright. But the other participants came there for the first time. When they heard about the owner of the house, they were all shocked. Some people who were not convinced or had looked down at Shao Yunduan earlier, lost their arrogance. After all, Shao Yunduan had never spent much money on their gatherings and he was always plainly dressed. But ordinary people could not afford a house like this in the province or have a good relationship with the young master from the Yuezheng family. Shao Yunduan had just been keeping a low profile in the past. They suddenly felt so shameful when they realized what was going on. Amongst them, the most shocked group was the cultivated talents from the county. They had heard of Shao Yunduan before and just could not believe what they saw. When did the Shao family become so wealthy? But then, Shao Yunduan was county magistrate's son-in-law, so it seemed reasonable that he had money. Did it mean Shao Yunduan and Officer Qiao did not have a bad relationship as per the rumor? Shao Yunduan and Qiao Xian did not like what they heard. Chapter 670. Mysterious. They both expressed openly that they bought the house themselves, not through Officer Qiao. Officer Qiao was just a county magistrate, and he could not have so much money to afford a house like this in the province for his son-in-law. Unless he had embezzled money. Moreover, they earned the money through business with the Yuezheng family. Yuezheng Shao was present there too. He smiled and confirmed what the couple said. Those who were present nodded in realization. Most people stopped asking for details at this point, but some annoying ones asked about what business they were doing because of which they made so much money. Yuezheng Shao laughed. That is a business secret. Shao Yunduan smiled too but kept his mouth shut. The curious ones finally stopped asking. Why did they have to tell them what business they were involved in? Yuezheng Shao confirmed the business relationship, and that was already a way to show that it was the truth. Most people were very understanding except for a few annoying ones. They were all in a good mood for the rest of the day. By the afternoon the neighbors and guests were all gone. Yuezheng Shao said, "Sister-in-law, do you think you should go and collect the money from the casinos? We should do it as soon as possible." Qiao Xian was startled for a moment and then chuckled. "Right, one would have forgotten about this but for your reminder." Xiao Yunduan smiled at her. She did love money but because of his success today she did not even care about it. So, she liked him more than she liked money. Qiao Xian did not show up at the casinos personally. She gave the invoice to Yuezheng Shao and asked him to get the money back. The owner had to do it according to the deal. He said some sour words asking if they had learned the result ahead of time, else they would not have put so much money in it. Yuezheng Shao smiled. "It was only because we believe in Brother Shad's talent. He is knowledgeable, modest and doesn't like showing off. But we are his friends and know so much about him." The owner almost passed out in anger. Qiao Xian earned a profit of 100,000 liang. Yuezheng Shao also earned more than 10,000 and Lu Min earned dozens of liang, which covered half of their fares spent on the trip to the capital. That mysterious young master earned a name for his antics. But this young master left without showing up again in front of anyone. He never showed up but left an impact on the casinos. Qiao Xian was so happy to hold the money. Honestly, she was fortunate to have so much money and felt like a winner. Qiao Xian did not cook after a long day. She got it delivered from the restaurant instead. There would be some gatherings in the near future and she was going to treat Yuezheng Shao and some friends for meals. She was also going to visit the old master and first madam. They were going to spend the following 7 or 8 days attending banquets. Yuezheng Shao did not leave and stayed over for dinner. In fact, Shao Yunduan would rather eat alone with Qiao Xian, but Yuezheng Shao helped him so much that he did not drive him away. Qiao Xian booked 2 tables of dishes. She and Yuezheng Shao Yunduan shared one table whilst the servants shared the other. Everyone was really happy. Chapter 671. Problems at home. Yuezheng Shao still did not want to leave after dinner. He looked hesitant. That was quite surprising. Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan felt that something was wrong. Yuezheng Shao must have something to say. Something was not right, or he would not have been so embarrassed. "Brother Yuezheng, why not have the talk in the study?" Shao Yunduan suggested. They could talk about anything they wanted. Yuezheng Shao bursted out. No need, we can just talk here." That meant that Qiao Xian could join them. Shao Yunduan and Qiao Xian exchanged a look between themselves, and they became even more confused. "Brother Yuezheng, just say it." "Yeah." Qiao Xian smiled. "Don't hesitate, you have to tell us sooner or later." Sigh. Yuezheng Shao felt like bursting. True, they had to know sooner or later. "Brother Shao, sister-in-law, I do have something to tell you about your family. But everything is fine now, you don't have to worry about anything." The couple was startled. Shao Yunduan lowered his voice. "Brother Yuezheng, please speak clearly." Okay, don't worry, everything is fine now. I promise." "I should have told you a few days ago, but because of the imperial examination, I made up my mind to conceal it from you, Brother Shao." It was a long story and it had something to do with the Zhao family. Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan had arranged everything well. Everything should have been fine. But, on the day when Shao Sanlang and Yang Xiaoni went into the town to buy stuff, something happened. The family could afford enough food these days and because of Qiao Xian's cooking skills, everyone was greedy for meat. Miss Fong was not stingy either. She could afford the food so she decided to have a good time. They were able to live generously so she did not want to behave like a poor family. Every now and then Shao Sanlang and Yang Xiaoni went into the town to buy meat. Though Ojao Xian was not around, Yang Xiaoni and Tao Tao could copy her by adding a lot of seasonings and spices, and if they could keep the meat fresh, then the big fire over the stove should be able to make the fish taste great. Shao Sanlang and Yang Xiaoni always went into town smoothly, but there was one time when they ran into Zhao Guanghua with Tao Tao and Qiao. Zhao Guanghua stared at Yang Xiaoni without moving. He knew that Qiao Xian was Officer Qiao's daughter and Shao Yunduan was the cultivated talent, so even though he liked that girl he could not possibly force her. So he just sneaked around. But his servants, Shi and Do, found him very distressed these days, and saw how he looked at the girl from the countryside. Hence, they decided to kidnap Yang Xiaoni and deliver her to their young master's side. Yang Xiaoni was beautiful and dressed in a very lovely way. She liked desserts and pastry, so the two servants believed that Yang Xiaoni must be a lazy person. Otherwise, how could some wife from the countryside be so well dressed and would like to spend so much money buying snacks? It must be the wife who was greedy that her husband had to buy those things for her, since she was very pretty. Chapter 672. Bullying. In Do's eyes, a girl from the countryside was very easily coaxed. As long as she was kidnapped, she would feel that she was honored to be with their young master. She would be willing to serve him. The Zhao family had never feared anybody in the county. She and Do had been used to bullying around, and they never had any rules or morality. They dared to do anything to flatter their young master. So, the two servants came up with the idea of hiring a few hooligans and tried to rob Shao Sanlang and the others on their way home. The servants and the hooligans put on some masks and pretended to be bandits from the mountains. Tao Tao and Yang Xiaoni were so scared, but Shao Sanlang did not allow anyone to bully his wife. He shouted loudly to Qi and asked him to take the two girls away. But Qi was so furious that he pulled out a tree trunk thicker than his arm and waved at the bandits, who fell onto the ground. Shao Sanlang did not get to do anything at all. Tao Tao and Yang Xiaoni were both shocked. Then Qi asked Shao Sanlang to get the 8 of them tied into 2 clusters. The hooligans were not afraid of them, so they kept shouting and decided to threaten them. Shao Sanlang was furious, but he was a bit scared as well. Hooligans were very difficult to get rid of. They might not be afraid of them when in the village, but if they went into the town in the future, they might come to attack them again. One would never know what was coming next. More importantly, they were not afraid of anything. Shao Xiaoqi shouted loudly. "Just shut up. You know who we are, so you dare to do anything? My 5th sister-in-law is County Magistrate's daughter, and if you ever touch us, she will never let you go. My 5th brother is the cultivated talent, and he is in the province for the imperial examination. If he makes it to the next level, you will not escape the punishment. Have you heard of the Yuezheng family? The richest family in the province. Their young master is a good friend of our family, and he has even lived at our place. He even has a manager residing at the Zhang village taking care of the properties. You can ask around if you don't believe me. We are not your enemies. We have never offended you. Why did you do this to us?" The hooligans were dumbfounded as they exchanged looks between themselves. They started to hesitate. Officer Qiao did have a daughter who married a cultivated talent, but these people had no chance to pry about the county magistrate's family, so they had no idea that Qiao Xian was disliked in her family. Also, even if she was, the county magistrate would protect her just to keep up his reputation. Also, what if this boy's brother really became a recommended man? They would never be bold enough to offend people from a recommended man's family. But the Zhao family was powerful in the county, and they knew that the young master Zhao was very arrogant. They could get many benefits by sucking up to him. If he was offended, the result could be bad too. So they did not dare sell out Zhao Guanghua. They just apologized and said that it was a misunderstanding, promising never to touch them again. Chapter 673. Evil Servants. At this time, Shao Sanlang pointed at Qi suddenly. "Qi, look at that man. Does he look like the page boy serving young Master Zhao when he visited our cousin's home?" Shao Xiaoqi was startled as he looked in that direction. Sure enough, Shao Xiaoqi was smarter than Shao Sanlang. He sneered after thinking for a while. "So, is it young Master Zhao who hired you? Shame on you." Qi and Do felt that they were better than others, and they could not stand it when a countryside boy cursed their young master. She glared at Qi. "Since you know we are working for young Master Zhao, you better untie us. Otherwise, our young master will not let you be at peace." Do also snapped back. "Yeah, you poor people from the countryside should never dare to offend our young master. You can cheat others, but we are from the Zhao family. Untie us and let this girl come with us. When our young master is pleased, he will forgive you." Shao Sanlang and Shao Xiaoqi did not like such words. Annoyed, they punched and kicked the 2 servants, who cried out in pain. They even lost 2 front teeth. "We will punch you, you damn servants. We will punch you whenever we see you." Shao Sanlang and Shao Xiaoqi left with Yang Xiaoni and Tao Tao. Qi and Do did not get rid of the ropes until a long while later. Finally, they went home in a mess. The hooligans found that something was wrong. They dodged Qi and Do and refused to help them. That family did not seem to be very easy to deal with. Humiliated, Qi and Do again cursed at those people, feeling angry. Hooligans were not easily offended. When they did not offer help, they did not dare to do anything about it either. But from that day on, they regarded the Shao family as their enemies. After a few discussions, They instigated Zhao Guanghua by saying that the Shao family kept sneering at Zhao Guanghua behind his back. They claimed that they went to defend his name in front of them but got beaten. Zhao Guanghua got so furious. He could not stand the humiliation. So the next day they rushed to Shouting village with a few followers. But the Shao family were in charge of the village and the land officer had a good relationship with Shao Yunduan and his family. So the land officer would definitely defend their family to show his position and keep the family safe. He needed to act like a land officer. Also, Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan had said that they would offer some jobs to the villagers. A few families had already got some benefits from them, so the land officer was absolutely on the side of the Shao family. Young Master Zhao would never do anything for the village. No one from the village would care about him. So when Zhao Guanghua came with his gang, they could not do anything to the Shao family and left angrily. Zhao Ming got furious hearing about this. Since when did the Zhao family become so easy to be bullied? Officer Qiao forced them to donate money and his cheap son-in-law ordered people to punch their servants. Chapter 674, Anger out of twist. Who made them so bold as to do this? Zhao Ming gave her second brother an idea. They should be made to fight amongst themselves. So, the next day she went to Qiao Wei and told her how Qiao Xian bought so many properties in secret and had hundreds of mu in the village. She even mentioned how they had actually sucked up to the Yuezheng family in the province, and how lively their lifestyle was. Cultivated talent Shao even went into province with Qiao Xian to participate in the imperial examination. If he made it to the next level, things would become very different. Qiao Wei's face changed completely. She interrogated Zhao Ming and asked again if everything she said was real. Zhao Ming swore that it was all true. She even said that the Shao family had a huge house with glazed windows and they even had many fields. Qiao Wei's face was twisted. How dare Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan do this? Qiao Wei told Madame Qiao about all of this. Madame Qiao was furious as well. How dare Shao Yunduan go to participate in the imperial examination? Madame Qiao told Officer Qiao about it in anger. Officer Qiao was shocked too but said instantly, if he wants to have a try then he can do that. It doesn't cost us any money. If he fails, that has nothing to do with us. If he does make it to the next level, he may be of some help to us. Madame Qiao and Qiao Wei were both shocked. Their thoughts were far different, quite the opposite. Qiao Wei could not stand her father's attitude. She felt saddened and said, Dad, how could you say that? How dare Shao Yunduan participate in the imperial examination? Who does he think he is? He may end up humiliating you. Madame Qiao added. Old master, he is just a cultivated talent and he lied to you. He told you that he would not be participating in the imperial examination, but he did it in secret. He doesn't respect you. He doesn't think you are important. He is so ruthless and tricky. If he makes it to the next level and becomes promising, do you think that he will help you and not set you up instead? Officer Qiao was startled. He lashed out. He would not dare. I am his father-in-law. If he ever dares to do anything against my will, he will lose his position. Also, he needs my help when he is new to the government. Listen carefully. If he fails, then ignore him. If he makes it, you must treat Qiao Xian well. We are a family, remember? In Officer Qiao's eyes, nothing was more important than his career. Even if he had some disagreement with Shao Yunduan in the past, nothing mattered compared to a bright future. So Shao Yunduan was not going to hate him. If he did resent him, then he was a stupid person. Qiao Wei just could not believe what she heard. She was about to counter her father when Madame Qiao stopped her. Madame Qiao smiled sweetly. It is my fault for not thinking about this. You are right, old master. If Shao Yunduan makes it, then he would need your help. If he is not stupid, he will definitely suck up to you rather than hate you. After all, you are his father-in-law. Officer Qiao nodded with satisfaction. Good that you think so. Madame Qiao sighed with a smile. But he needs to clear the level first. He is not a learned person and has no name in our county. He was driven out of Minghua College because of the trouble he caused. He might not make it, most probably. We need to wait until the result comes out. Chapter 675. Warning. Officer Qiao fretted and turned anxious. Never mind, let's see what happens. Officer Qiao did not think that Shao Yunduan would make it to the next level. But when he thought of how he disagreed with his proposal and sneaked to take the examination, he could not help but feel disgusted. You are right, old master. Madame Qiao sighed with a slight worry in her voice. Hopefully he knows what to do and he won't just brag about his background and bring you down, old master. Hearing that, Officer Qiao suddenly got annoyed by Shao Yunduan. He sneered. If he dares do something like that, I will punish him. Madame Qiao said, no matter what the result is, old master, you need to teach him a lesson so that he knows that he should respect you and inform you of everything. Otherwise he will always try to rebel and make decisions on his own. Old master, that would bring you much trouble. Officer Qiao frowned slightly and agreed. You have given me a good reminder. That is definitely necessary. Madame Qiao said modestly, I am fully devoted to you, old master. Officer Qiao smiled in satisfaction. True, his wife was very virtuous. What Officer Qiao did not know was that the moment he left, his virtuous wife and brilliant lineal daughter had distorted expressions on their faces. Mom, look at what Dad said. Qiao Xian, the bitch, and Shao Yunduan dared to rebel against us. How can they do so? Mom, that bitch should have never become an officer's wife, never. Madame Qiao's face sank. She did not want this to happen more than Xiao Wei did. Her original plan of setting up Qiao Xian and forcing her to marry some countryside man was ruined. Anyway, he is just there for an examination. You think he can make it to the next level? Shao Yunduan is not at all skilled. That is not going to happen. What if it does happen? Not possible. Imperial examination can clearly identify knowledgeable people, and those people without any knowledge would never go any further. How can it be possible for someone like him to succeed? Qiao Wei felt slightly better hearing that. She gritted her teeth. Mom, Qiao Xian dared to make the decision herself. We will teach her a good lesson when she returns. Neodame Qiao's face turned dark. True. I'm going to ask her why she concealed this from us. What is so humiliating with the imperial examination? Qiao Wei was fretting. She really wished to get Qiao Xian over here to lecture her now. How could Qiao Xian follow Shao Yunduan to the province for the imperial examination? Qiao Xian was just a coward. She was not good enough to be seen in public. How could she go to the province? She did not deserve the visit to the province. Even though she herself had never been there enough times. Mom, how about getting Auntie Ling to visit the village and take a look at the Shao family? Zhao Ming said that Qiao Xian has collected a lot of money and they even have glazed windows and a big house. They have bought a lot of land. Where did she get the money from? Even if Shao Yunduan claimed that he is working for young Master Yuezheng, 2 liang a month is not at all enough. Something is wrong. The couple lied to us about going to the province. So, I believe that they must be lying about a lot of other things too. Madame Qiao found that many things were wrong. She was also itching to do something about it. Chapter 676. Auntie Ling adored Qiao Xian's mother never left anything for her, and Auntie Ling prepared the dowry for the girl. There was nothing valuable there. Qiao Xian coaxed 300 to 400 liang from the family, but that was just enough for dozens of moo fields, nothing beyond. A big house with glazed windows? That was just fantasy. Alright. Madame Qiao suddenly realized that Qiao Xian must have been pretending to be weak. She never cribbed about the poor dowry prepared for her either. Unless she had been pretending to be weak before. The more she thought about this, the more angry Madame Qiao became. She felt so furious. That bitch had been lying to her all this while. Good. Then what she and Shao Yunduan said might not be true. Maybe their relationship with young Master Yuezheng was not the same as they had claimed? But what could it be? Madame Qiao was feeling really uncomfortable at this moment. She turned to Auntie Ling, take 2 people to the Shao family in the village and take a thorough look at their home. That bitch must be lying to us about many things. You have to see with your own eyes and not believe what the Shao family tells you, got it? Auntie Ling nodded. Madame Qiao and Xiao Wei told Auntie Ling a few more things before she left. They were not going to visit the village personally. That place was too low class for them to set foot in. Before Auntie Ling left the following day, Madame Qiao got Concubine Du and Xiao Ko to keep her company. When Concubine Du and Xiao Ko's properties were taken away, they did not seem to have a broken relationship with Xiao Wei and Madame Qiao, but both of them knew what they were resentful inwardly. When Concubine Du and Xiao Ko heard about what happened to Qiao Xian and the Shao family, they were shocked and then they turned extremely jealous. Why was Qiao Xian living a good life whilst they were suffering? That was totally unreasonable. Both of them got very motivated and swore to God that they were going to rip the Shao family off. Seeing their reaction, Madame Qiao more or less understood what they were thinking. She felt disdainful. These were just her tools. At the first section of the Shao family. Due to what Zhao Guanghua did to them, the brothers of the Shao family did not leave home, fearing that something might happen again. Yang Xiaoni and Tao Tao were still making lipsticks in the flower field, which was located next to the village, so that was all right. Auntie Ling and her team came to the house of the first section of the Shao family and ordered the maid Zhang Seer and Yang San to knock at the door. Sizing up the appearance of the house, Auntie Ling and concubine Du as well as Qiao Ko were all very annoyed inwardly. It was indeed a huge house. Concubine Du felt sour inwardly. Second Miss is really capable of buying so many properties. Xiao Sanlang opened the door and looked alarmed, seeing the two women at the door. Who are you? Who are we? That is a good question. We are from the Qiao family. Madame Qiao sent us here. Are Qiao Xian's in-laws home? Fifth sister-in-law's family? That could not be good. Chapter 677, Jealous Xiao Sanlang chuckled. My parents are both at home. If you are from Officer Qiao's mansion, please come in. Xiao Sanlang did not think that they were impostors. Honestly, no one in the county would dare pretend to be from the county magistrate's family. Auntie Ling went in with the others. Xiao Sanlang turned around and shouted, so everyone who was at home came out. Auntie Ling, concubine Du and her daughter as well as the two woman maids were shocked to see the house. The yard was paved with flat and clean square bricks. The house was tall and spacious and the materials used were very good. There were actually several small yards each with a closed door. There were a lot of flowers and trees planted, which were lush and blooming, including roses, hydrangea. Pomegranates were hanging from the trees, and they were full of vitality. This was not a countryside home. In fact, it was better than a town family's home. The worst part in their eyes was that the windows were all installed with light-colored glazed windows, with a lot of light shining through. It must be so good to live in such a place. Concubine Du and her daughter exchanged a look, and both felt really jealous. Even their room was not installed with glazed windows. Ah. You are from the Qiao family? What are your names? Miss Fong smiled brightly. Yang San frowned. You are the in-law, right? We are all women here and we can't just meet other men. Can they be sent away? Eldest uncle flushed and looked embarrassed. He smiled. Okay, we will leave. Then he took away Xiao Sanlang, Xiao Dalong and Xiao Xiaoqi. Only Miss Fong and Miss Su were present. Miss Fong gave Qi a wink, who left without saying anything. But Qi did not leave them alone. Instead he was on watch nearby. Xiao Sanlang went to the flower field to get Yang Xiaoni and the other girls to come back. They could not be less in numbers. Miss Fong did not have a big smile on her face originally and she smiled even less now. We don't have many rules and manners here, sorry for that. Who are you? Auntie Ling and concubine Du as well as her daughter did not like the way Miss Fong talked. They seemed to look down at Miss Fong. Yang San introduced them arrogantly. That is concubine Du, third Miss, and Auntie Ling who works for Madame Qiao. Miss Fong said, Oh. So concubine and servants. And one mistress who was her daughter-in-law's sister. So, if she was her daughter-in-law's sister, then she should be above her in generation. Miss Fong soon understood that they had no positions in front of her. Thanks to Qiao Xian, Miss Fong had learned the inner workings of the mansions. Qiao Xian had used her common sense and some things she mentioned were even wrong. After all, she was not professional in this aspect either. Those were just what she had learned from fiction and TV series in the past. But what she had taught Miss Fong would be useful now. Those people were here with ill intention. Moreover, they seemed to be looking down at her. Miss Fong almost rolled eyes at them, not intending to suck up to concubine Du and the others. It was already kind enough for Miss Fong to let them enter the house. Chapter 678, No Rules. Miss Su, you are pregnant, you can go back to your room to rest. Concubine Du still glanced about as she sat down, hearing what Miss Fong said to Miss Su. Miss Su also noticed that the visitors were not up to any good. But these were the in-laws of the family and her mother-in-law should be able to handle it. She was going to be in labor soon and she really could not help her being here. What if some accident happened? That would be horrible. So she smiled and left the threshold. Qiao Ko could not stand it but forced out a false smile. Aunt Fong, you are lucky. My second sister's dowry must have paid for everything in this house, didn't it? My second sister has got so much money. Miss Fong glanced at her. What do you know, little girl? Don't go around spreading rumors. Miss Qiao's dowry is her own property. No in-laws would use daughter-in-law's dowry. You're just a little girl. Where did you hear such rumors? You. Qiao Ko flushed, angry. Concubine Du got angry and her face sank. You, if I remember correctly, you are a concubine, right? Concubine Du Qiao shouted immediately. So what? A concubine is superior to you countryside people. TMS. Fang struck the table hard, sneering despite whether they had got frightened. If that is the case, what is the point of coming to our home? You are too noble for us to serve, aren't you? So you can leave now. Miss Fang stood up and shouted at them. Just leave now, or I will use a broomstick. We countryside people are always very rough. You are driving us away? Qiao sneered. Mother sent us here and you are driving us away? I am a generation older than you, and you dare shout at me and lecture me? You are also saying that a concubine is superior to me? Does this mean your mother wanted you to say all of this? Then I will ask everyone around if it is reasonable. Best that there is a conclusion drawn out of it. You, third miss. Auntie Ling could not stand it any more. All this while she had been watching the show. If this countryside woman truly drove them out with a broomstick, that would be so humiliating. Also, this countryside woman was very reasonable in this matter. Auntie Ling could tell that this countryside woman was not someone to be bullied easily. No wonder they always said that poor places tended to breed poor people. In-law, please, Madam Qiao sent us here to ask a few questions. The concubine doesn't know how to behave and third miss doesn't know manners. Please excuse us. Madam Qiao would never tell them to do so. You have misunderstood us. Miss Fang sat down and snorted. Oh, is that so? I never expected my daughter-in-law's mother to have such an idea. So, will they apologize to me since they made a mistake like this? Auntie Ling stiffened. Concubine Du's face changed and Qiao almost shouted out something loudly again. But Auntie Ling glared at them so they stopped. Yeah, Auntie Ling replied with gritted teeth. Concubine Du, third miss, apologized to Lady Fang. Auntie Ling was speaking for Madame Qiao. So, no matter how unwilling Concubine Du and Qiao were, they still obeyed her. Otherwise she would report it to Madame Qiao when they returned and they would suffer. Sorry for the rude words, please forgive us. Sorry. Chapter 679, Wrong Answers MS. Fang rolled her eyes openly. It was boring to hear these untruthful words. Forget it. She waved her hands. I don't care. Qiao got so annoyed. Then tell us earlier if you don't care. Why wait until now? Auntie Ling did not dare to ask what they were about to ask after this incident. Madame Qiao heard that the second miss and her husband are in the province for the examination. So she sent us here to offer some help. Miss Fang did not believe her. Everything is fine here, no need for any help. Yeah, I can tell. Look at this magnificent house and glazed windows. One such window would cost 30 to 40 liang. Lady Fang, you are living a luxurious life now. Fang was startled when she heard that. What? One glazed window cost 30 to 40 liang? How could that glass be so expensive? She was sighing emotionally inside her heart. Shao Yunduan and Xiao Xian used their money to make this happen. How much did Miss Qiao pay for the house? She would not have agreed to use the glazed windows if she had known how expensive they were. The couple told her nothing. The room was very bright because of these and the glazed windows were so beautiful. Everyone liked them but it was so costly. Miss Fang could help but shiver. She was throwing scared glances at the windows. That was money. She needed to be very careful about the glasses. They were all money. Madame Qiao even said that if the second Miss husband clears the examination, are the fees for the next examination available? If not, Madame Qiao will offer some help. But you are very rich, so I believe that you must be doing some business, right? Are you hanging out with young Master Yuezheng from the province? What is the business deal between the two families? Madame Qiao is curious, so she needs to know the answers. I will tell Madame Qiao about this so that she can be assured in her heart as well. Miss Fang had no idea what Auntie Ling was thinking. She was still stuck on the glazed windows. Auntie Ling raised her voice and called her. Miss Fang came back to her senses and asked, "What did you just say?" Auntie Ling was speechless. She had no choice but to repeat everything patiently. Miss Fang waved her hands. One have no idea about any of this. Yunduan has always been capable since childhood and he can read well. He is smart, steady and assiduous too. He respects us and I never need to take care of him that much. Auntie Ling? What was she saying? Later, no matter what Auntie Ling and Concubine Du asked, Miss Fang only answered with one statement. "I don't know." Yang Xiaoni came back at this time. Tao Tao and Chunyu were still busy in the flower field. There was no need to have too many of them present here. Shao Sanlang and Shao Xiaoqi were both in this house. They were not around but close by. They would rush in to help in case something happened. But this was better. Miss Fang pretended to be foolish and Yang Xiaoni really had no idea what Auntie Ling asked. Auntie Ling got very tired and expressed that they would like to have a tour of their yard. That was not going to happen. Their house was not a tourist site, and Miss Fang said that it was not very convenient for her to show the yards of her children to outsiders. Chapter 680. Lunch here. Qiao Ko suddenly said, 1 a.m. a little tired. Can I have a rest in my sister's yard? Concubine Du's eyes sparkled as she smiled. Yeah, they have always been good sisters and never lived separately. Sisters can share a room, can they? You will approve of that, won't you, Miss Fang? Miss Fang chuckled. That won't be possible. We have a small house with only a few rooms. Miss Qiao has no separate room for herself. The couple are living together. You can't just rest on the couple's bed, can you? We don't have many manners but we do have a few rules. Qiao Ko's chest heaved. She was so angry that she almost exploded. This old woman was bullying her. Even Concubine Du was angered by this speech. Miss Fang felt very proud in heart. Did they think she was stupid? They were up to no good if they wanted to visit her son and daughter-in-law's room. She was not going to let that happen. Auntie Ling stiffened but she said with a smile, it was our fault. Please don't mind. We would like to have lunch here, will that be okay with you? Miss Fang was not very happy. But she did not turn them down. She said indifferently, oh, it is just a matter of another portion of rice and some more chopsticks. That is totally okay. But we don't have much to eat at home so you should not mind. Of course not. Auntie Ling replied with a smile. Vegetables here are fresh and we will surely like them. Miss Fang smiled too. Yeah, we have many fresh vegetables. Miss Fang kept them company and asked Yang Xiaoni to make some food. Yang San and Zhang Xir offered to help Yang Xiaoni. Miss Fang did not stop them but let them do that. Concubine Du said that she wanted to go to the bathroom, so Miss Fang had to show her the way. Concubine Du, Auntie Ling and Qiao Ko exchanged a look between themselves but Miss Fang summoned Qi. Qi came in when he was called. Miss Fang said, keep the guests company and I will be back soon. Concubine Du, come with me. Qi chuckled and nodded. Mom, I will definitely take care of the guests. The three guests were shocked. Concubine Du had just left when Qiao Ko shouted at Qi. Who are you? Qi replied. Your brother-in-law is my brother. Qiao Ko frowned and showed a disdainful look, snapping inwardly. Brother-in-law, that cultivated talent didn't deserve this title from her. He was always looked down upon by her parents and he didn't dare to utter a sound. Your family really has no rules. We have not been served any tea ever since we came here. I'm thirsty, serve me some tea. Qi looked at her. Wait. What? Al said wait. Qi said naturally, if I leave the room you will be alone here. Our rule is that we should never leave the guests alone. Qiao Ko. You, Auntie Ling could not help but feel nervous. Was this family stupid for real or pretending? She did not understand. She glared at Qiao Ko who was about to counter. But it seemed that there was no way that they could realize the plan of walking around in the house without the Shao family being involved. Chapter 681. Concealing. Qiao Ko snorted and glared at Qi. She did not dare to disobey Auntie Ling, but she felt really unconvinced. She did not think that Auntie Ling needed to respect the Shao family so much. They could do whatever they wanted to do with them. Why bother saying such empty words? Soon Concubine Du and Miss Fang came back. Qi went away to get some tea. Since the guests asked for tea, he was going to serve it to them for his fifth sister-in-law's sake. But he recalled how his fifth sister-in-law spoke highly of golden sprouts and lavender, which were rare even for rich people. He thought for a while and grabbed some really old tea and poured 3 cups for the guests. In the hall, Miss Fang kept the guests company, while in the kitchen, Yang San and Zhang Xir also tried to get something out of Yang Xiaoni regarding the Shao family. Yang Xiaoni was honest but she was not stupid. Her fifth sister-in-law kept telling her that they should keep a low profile and make a fortune without showing off. She understood that they should conceal the wealth, or there would be trouble at the door. Exposing the family wealth would bring them trouble from those who wanted to steal it. So, when Yang Xiaoni heard them asking about what was going on in the family, she got alarmed. She kept saying that she had no idea what was going on. Yang San and Zhang Xie felt annoyed and even sneered. You are the daughter-in-law of the Shao family, how can you know nothing? Yang Xiaoni showed a natural smile. Mother-in-law is in charge and I have an elder sister-in-law. Also, my fifth sister-in-law is more capable than me, so I just do what they ask me to. The two maids were speechless. Honestly, after this they decided to become lazy. They did not want to help Yang Xiaoni for real. They were only trying to get something out of Yang Xiaoni but failed. So they found an excuse and left the kitchen. They were servants, but they were not going to help the countryside people. Yang Xiaoni pursed her lips. She did not care. Good that they were out of the way. She did not intend to make a sumptuous lunch. Miss Fang did not need to stress because a foodie like Yang Xiaoni would not want those people to stay for lunch. So, she was not going to provide them with good food. It was a vegetarian fare. Only Miss Su and two children had steamed eggs. The three guests were not very happy seeing the dishes. Qiao Ko said involuntarily, "You live in such a big house and have everything, but you only have these dishes for lunch?" Yang San cut in. "I can see many chicken and fish in the yard." Miss Fang glanced at Yang San. She had been careless not to keep eyes out for these two people who took a walk in the yard. Miss Fang did not feel embarrassed and explained. Chicken should be kept for laying eggs. My elder daughter-in-law is pregnant and she needs to eat eggs every day. When she is in her first month of confinement, we would kill a few chickens for her nutrition. No one kills chicken every day and fish are being kept to exchange them for spices. Qiao Ko sneered. We are your guests. Is this how you treat your guests? Chapter 682, Approaching MS. Fang was not afraid of her. She smiled brightly. I am not treating you as guests, right? We are a family. Qiao Ko got so stuck by her response that she had no idea what to say. That was so shameless of her. Even Auntie Ling and Concubine Du were shocked. This countryside woman was not very easy to deal with. But when Concubine Du realized that Qiao Xian had such an annoying mother-in-law, she assumed that Qiao Xian would not be having a good time here, so she felt slightly better. Auntie Ling still remembered their main purpose of coming here. So, instead of lingering over the minor things, she smiled. You are right, we are a family so we can help ourselves. The vegetables from the countryside are so fresh and we can have a good taste of them. Yeah, you are right, Auntie Ling. Take a seat and eat as many fresh vegetables as possible. Miss Fang spoke as if she were offering some precious food. Auntie Ling just had no idea what else to counter back with. Yang Xiaoni was not very happy that someone was here to eat lunch with them. Moreover, the dishes had no meat and there was no oil. Very basic fare. The three women were not very used to the pure vegetable dishes served on the table. After lunch was done, Auntie Ling asked Concubine Du and Qiao Ko to take a rest in the wing room, whilst she had a private talk with Miss Fang. Miss Fang, in fact, Madame Qiao asked us to come here because she cares about Second Miss and her husband. We heard that Second Miss has bought many fields. I want you to show them to me, okay? In this way we can tell Madame what we found. Miss Fang's face sank. Of course she knew that Qiao Xian had many properties, but she was not going to show them to Auntie Ling. Lipsticks were produced in the flower field, and those bee boxes kept there could earn them a lot of money 3 times a year. So, she was not going to let Auntie Ling know about any of these, nor will she let her go and see them. She was not going to show them the garden and the fruits as well as other herbs as well. Those were all precious things. She could not be taken to the mushroom house at the entrance of the village. Miss Qiao had told her that things inside there were very expensive too. Miss Fang had no idea what was going on at the Zhang village, but she heard that young Master Yuezheng had sent a manager to take care of them, so those things were definitely good ones as well. Miss Fang understood what dilemma she was facing right now. My daughter-in-law did buy some fields, but those are not precious ones and have few products coming out of them. What is so good about it? Why would my in-law want you to see them? Auntie Ling gave a very meaningful smile. Miss Fang, I am just following Madame Qiao's order. She should have her own reason to do so. There is no way for me to ask her about it. Also, it is not a secret, right? Miss Fang said to herself that it was, of course, something to be kept away from her in-laws. I'm not sure what Miss Qiao is doing. She uses the properties and I never ask her about this. That made Auntie Ling feel that something was wrong. So she insisted with a smile. I'll just want to take a look at them. You don't have any idea about where the properties are? Chapter 683, Conflict, Madame Qiao cares about the second Mississippi. If you don't tell me now, Madame Qiao would definitely send some more people here. One don't think that we need another unnecessary visit, do we? Miss Fong said to herself. Well, try another visit then? Why would they come here again? That was a trap. Miss Fong turned to the other topics and refused to show her what she wanted. Auntie Ling felt annoyed and her face sank. Miss Fong, you keep turning me down. Is it because there is something strange in there? Madame Qiao can dig out whatever she needs to know. Do you think that you will be able to stop us forever? I can tell Madame Qiao about what is going on here. Also, why is there a locked garden behind your yard? I heard that there are many fruit trees and spring water there too. I will go and take a look at it, is that fine? Miss Fong was startled. Of course not. It was not okay. Miss Qiao owns the garden and we can't get in there without Miss Qiao's permission. Those are just fruit trees, why insist on checking them out? Auntie Ling, maybe you can go home now and come back to ask Miss Qiao when she is back? Fong kept turning her down, but she knew that she could not resist them forever. She just hoped that Xiao Xian and Xiao Yunduan would return home as soon as possible so they could solve the problems personally. Auntie Ling felt very irritated, hearing that this small request was turned down as well. Miss Fong. I am addressing you respectfully, but don't think that you are someone great. No one would have a good result when countering Madam in our county. Miss Fong looked at her and sneered. Is the show finally over? I think that you must be very tired to have put on this amiable show. I can't make a decision for Miss Qiao. When she is back, you can ask her yourself. You are just giving us a bad time when you come and ask for this and that. We are countryside people and we can't afford to treat you any longer. Please leave now. Auntie Ling was so shocked that a countryside woman would disrespect Madame Qiao. She sneered and was about to say something when Concubine Du and Qiao Ko came in looking messy. Qiao Ko screamed. Auntie Ling, let's just go home. I'm going to tell Mother that the Shao family is just ridiculous. They beat us. Auntie Ling and Miss Fong were both shocked. Yang Xiaoni and Shao Xiaoqi Shao Sanlang came in together looking furious. Qi snapped and said angrily, You are the robbers. I told you not to go to the garden, but you ordered the two women to smash the door. Are you bandits? Concubine Du and Xiao Ko heard from Yang San that there was a locked garden in the backyard, and they really wanted to have a look at it. Xiao Ko could not stand the curiosity anymore. She insisted on going to check it out and ordered Yang Xiaoni and Qi to open the door. Yang Xiaoni and Qi refused. She kept cursing them and even ordering Yang San to smash the door. Qi and Yang Xiaoni could not let them do that. They stopped them and pushed them away, but Xiao Ko turned around and said that Qi and Yang Xiaoni had beaten him. Chapter 684, Spine at Home. Xiao Ko sneered. What on earth is hidden inside the garden so you won't show it to us? I will definitely find it out soon. I will tell Mother about this when we return and she will send more people. I will see what you dare to do at that time. Auntie Ling stopped herself when she heard what Xiao Ko said. No wonder Madame Qiao sent these two to keep her company. Sometimes they did need some wild and intimidating people to deal with the problem. Miss Fong hated it when Xiao Ko behaved so arrogantly. She got so furious and snapped. Oh yeah? Trying to use your power now? We are not as noble as Madame Qiao, but we are an ordinary family who lives peacefully. How can you come and cause us trouble? Madame Qiao has sent some unreliable people and I want to argue with her about it. Xiao Ko snapped at her disdainfully. Arguing? Who did she think she was? How would she have a position to argue with her mother? Did she think that they were actually being treated as in-laws? They were nothing but rude, poor farmers. Seeing Xiao Ko treating Miss Fong so impolitely, Shao Sanlang and Shao Xiaoqi got furious. Shao Sanlang rolled up his sleeves and shouted. Just get out of here. If you were not a woman, I would have beaten you. How dare you treat my mom like this? You. Xiao Ko flushed. Rude and rough. Get out of here. Just wait and see. The three women could not stand it anymore. They had to leave in a mess. Xiao Ko kept cursing on the way home. She wished that Xiao Xian was here so she could have made sure that the old bitch would not have snapped at them. Auntie Ling was silent all the way home. She was sure now that the Shao family had some secrets. She was thinking about how to report the news to Madame Qiao. After all, there was no evidence that proved their conjectures. Madame Qiao would not be satisfied by this result. They were going to have to give a good explanation. When the three women were gone, Miss Fong let out a sigh of relief. But soon they became agitated. What should we do? Are we not going to be able to keep a low profile any longer? Are we going to face more trouble? Yang Xiaoni was very worried. Xiao Sanlang consoled them. Don't worry, fifth sister-in-law and fifth brother will soon be here. They will have some solution when they are back. Miss Fang sighed as well. But that was the problem. The two of them were the spine of the family. She was calm. He said, I am afraid that the third miss of the Qiao family was not joking. Madame Qiao will surely send more people here. One will go to the Zhang village and get Manager Dong here. Fifth brother and fifth sister-in-law told them to fetch Manager Dong when they ran into problems that they could not solve. This was the time to fetch him. Civilians could not fight with officers, and they would not be able to confront Madame Qiao by themselves. Miss Fang was slightly relieved. She nodded and asked Qi to do that. Manager Dong was from the Yuezheng family, so he would be able to face Auntie Ling bravely. The moment Qi told Manager Dong about this, he frowned. Someone must have informed Madame Qiao about Mrs. Shao's properties. They have not got the confirmation they were looking for, so they will definitely come back again. I will follow you back to Shaoding village, young Master Qi, and I will be residing in your place these days. How does that sound? Chapter 685. Unconvinced. For security's sake, one will write a letter to young Master Yuezheng and tell him about this. Manager Dong was Yuezheng Shao's trusted servant, and his young master told him repeatedly about the Shao family. Hence, he was very concerned about whatever was happening to them. He knew about the lipsticks, so based on that, his own young master was definitely going to protect the first section of the Shao family, let alone their deep relationship. She was very happy to hear that. He nodded with a smile. That is the best. Thanks for your help, Brother Dong. Manager Dong went back with Qi to the village, whilst on the other side, Qiao Ko also passed on the happenings of the day to Madame Qiao. With the narration of Auntie Ling's exaggerated stories, Madame Qiao and Xiao Wei got very furious. How dare the Shao family do things like this? But they can do nothing when I want to know something about them. Xiao Wei snapped. Mom, there is something wrong going on here. We have underestimated the damn girl Qiao Xian. She has been pretending all this while. I will not forgive her when she comes back. Qiao Ko added. I knew that. Qiao Xian always liked pretending. She never had a good heart. Now you believe what I said, mother and sister. Xiao Wei said, Mom, ask Auntie Ling to take more people to pay them another visit tomorrow. Madame Qiao sneered. Auntie Ling, take some police officers there as well. Let's see what the Shao family is capable of. Qiao Wei's eyes sparkled. Yeah, that is right. Qiao Ko was very glad too. She proposed automatically. Mother, I will go along with them tomorrow too so that I can regain the face for you. Concubine Du disapproved of this proposal, but she did not dare say anything. Madame Qiao did not care. She said nothing. Qiao Ko could do anything and go anywhere she wanted because she did not mind if it was Qiao Ko or the Shao family who got into trouble. She and Xiao Wei would never be there personally. That was beneath them. The Shao family were not good enough for them to investigate personally. But when they learned of Qiao Xian's properties much later, they regretted it terribly. After all, when Qiao Xian and Xiao Yunduan were missing, and the two of them broke into Qiao Xian's place and found all those properties, they would have been able to take them for their own. Even Ms. Fang and her children would not be able to stop it. But they did not do that, thus missing the only chance they could possibly have. The first section of the Shao family did not expect Auntie Ling and Qiao Ko to come over so soon. Nor did they expect that they brought along 2 police officers. Police officers were serious officials, so 2 of them were already enough. Besides, it had been Madame Qiao who got the 2 of them transferred here personally, so the whole action was done in a very quiet manner. Ms. Fang and her family were slightly scared looking at the scene. But Manager Dong was present beside them, luckily. Manager Dong stepped forward and spoke with the 2 policemen, mentioning that the properties belonged to Yuezheng Shao's, whilst the Shao family were just in charge of watching them over. If they wanted to have a look at them, they needed to write a letter to Yuezheng Shao, who would come and have a talk with them personally. But before Yuezheng Shao was here, no one would be able to go into those places. The 2 officers had to believe that. They could not counter the Yuezheng family from the province. Qiao Ko did not care. She wanted to break in no matter what. But she could not move the 2 police officers, since she was not capable enough. The 2 police officers could not just leave without making a deal with Manager Dong. So, they decided to wait for young Master Yuezheng, who was going to arrive after 3 days. After this, they would be able to speak with Madame Qiao about this personally. Chapter 686. County Magistrate Qiao's idea: if he could not make it after 3 days, then Madame Qiao's order would have to be put into implementation. Manager Dong communicated on behalf of the Shao family, and sent his worker to pass on the message to the province urgently. Auntie Ling and her group returned without receiving any results. Madame Qiao started to feel skeptical. But she could not just provoke the Yuezheng family by breaking into their properties. The old master had already forced many rich people to give him money, and he was not very liked among the rich households currently. If the Yuezheng family were offended as well, those rich households would combine forces with the Yuezheng family to cause them trouble. The old master's future was very important, and they had to be very careful about it. Hearing the news, Yuezheng Shao did not dare delay it by even a second. But Shao Yunduan was going to take the imperial examination within 5 days, so after thinking about it, Yuezheng Shao concealed the incident from Shao Yunduan and Xiao Xian, and went to the county personally. If he could solve the problem, he did not need to bother Shao Yunduan and worry him. Sure enough, Yuezheng Shao went to visit County Magistrate Qiao and recounted the whole story. Only then did County Magistrate Qiao realize what his wife had done behind his back. He got furious and gave his wife a warning. Then he politely consoled Yuezheng Shao. He even asked Yuezheng Shao what his relationship was with Shao Yunduan. Yuezheng Shao did not conceal things at this point. He smiled and expressed that he appreciated Shao Yunduan. Especially after he arrived in the province and attended many gatherings, he managed to attract even young Master Xie's attention. County Magistrate Qiao was shocked to hear that. Yuezheng Shao sneered inwardly. Officer Qiao was indeed very concerned about his own interest. He was not even bothered to conceal that. Good, if the Yuezheng family was not strong enough, Xie Jingrong's name could keep the first section of the Shao family safe for a while. Officer Qiao smiled pretentiously. My son-in-law managed to attract young Master Xie's attention? He is very lucky. That is not luck. Yuezheng Shao smiled. Brother Xie has always had a high standard in seeing people. People without talents would not be appreciated by him. Officer Qiao's heart skipped a beat. He believed the words completely. He even felt that Yuezheng Shao must be paying attention to him because Shao Yunduan attracted young Master Xie's attention. He believed that Yuezheng Shao was here to tell him that he was a good friend of Shao Yunduan's. Young Master Xie was very arrogant, and it was normal that he appreciated people with talents. But did he really see Shao Yunduan wrong? Was he actually that capable? Officer Qiao smiled again. You are right, young master, my son-in-law does have some talent. But how do you think he will perform at the imperial examination this time? Yuezheng Shao was sneering inwardly. Brother Shao is very talented. I believe that he will definitely have a good rank this time. He was not bragging about Shao Yunduan. Xie Jingrong spoke highly of this man, and he trusted Xie Jingrong's judgment. He had a hunch that Shao Yunduan would make it for some reason. He could tell that Shao Yunduan was very confident. When a down-to-earth and steady man expressed that he was confident, he really was. Officer Qiao cheered inwardly. He could not even conceal his smile and nodded. Good, good, one new Yunduan was a good one. He has lived up to my expectations. Chapter 687. The Zhao family and the trouble. Yuezheng Shao smiled. Then, congratulations to you, Officer Qiao. Thank you, thank you. So, Yuezheng Shao solved all the problems on this visit. Now, whether Shao Yunduan could make it this time, thanks to his relationship with Yuezheng Shao and Xie Jingrong, County Magistrate Qiao would not do anything bad to this son-in-law of his. He understood clearly how difficult it was to become a recommended man. Very few people could make it on their first try. Even some capable ones could not make it because the competition was very fierce. Shao Yunduan was young, and he would have many chances in the future. Officer Qiao was never going to let go of a son-in-law like that. Officer Qiao lectured Madame Qiao and told her never to cause trouble to the first section of the Shao family, at least before the examination result was announced. Before he was able to figure out Shao Yunduan's relationship with Xie Jingrong, nothing like this would be allowed. Madame Qiao's heart ached. Qiao Wei was very displeased too. Qiao Ko was shocked. How could that be possible? A man like Shao Yunduan should not have any relationship with young Master Xie. He was not even good enough to be his servant. If Shao Yunduan could suck up to young Master Xie, then it meant that Qiao Xian had the chance to meet young Master Xie and have a promising future? That could not be right. Qiao Ko wanted to grab Qiao Xian and interrogate her thoroughly. Madame Qiao did not think that Shao Yunduan would be successful. So she said angrily, let's wait and see. As long as Xiao Yunduan failed, she had all kinds of solutions to change old master's opinions towards Xiao Yunduan. They would just wait for now. But Xiao Wei was in a hurry. She could not stand it whenever she thought about this. So, she went to Zhao Ming but did not tell her about Xiao Yunduan's relationship with Yuezheng Shao and Xie. She told Zhao Ming to do something against the Shao family and she was going to help her clear everything, irrespective of what she did. She also promised that she was going to help the Zhao family to get back the money her father got from them. Zhao Ming had been very angry about being humiliated by the first section of the Shao family, so she was motivated hearing the suggestion. That was such a huge amount of money. If she could get it back, her parents would be so happy. Zhao Ming was alone and not powerful enough. She was in a good relationship with her brother Zhao Guanghua, so she went to her brother and talked about this. She and Yu were very annoyed because of what happened last time, so they decided to take revenge this time now that the chance was at their door. The two of them made a plan with Zhao Ming and tried to convince Zhao Guanghua. Zhao Guanghua thought of the money, also of Yang Xiaoni, and was reassured of Qiao Wei's promise, so he approved of this proposal. He told Zhao Ming, "You are a girl and you don't have to get involved in this personally. I will deal with the rest." Zhao Ming only needed a result. So she agreed happily. What Qiao Wei wanted was that they could ruin the first section of the Shao family and their reputation would be destroyed. But Zhao Guanghua was dreaming about Yang Xiaoni, so he decided to start working on her first. In his opinion, if he could get Yang Xiaoni in his hands and bring a prostitute to ruin Shao Sanlang's reputation, then Qiao Wei's mission would be accomplished. Zhao Guanghua understood that it could not be done recklessly, so he decided to make use of Yang Liang, based on what they had heard. Hearing the plan, Yang Liang turned really angry. He snapped at Zhao Guanghua. He might not be a good brother, but he was not going to ruin his sister's life. Chapter 688. Fake brother and sister. But even though Yang Liang did not like it, Miss Tian was very motivated to do so. She had been trying to find a way to take revenge on that bitch and now the chance had come. Miss Tian ignored Yang Liang's prevention, and accepted the 20 liang that she offered. She could tell that the couple had different ideas. So he said that he would come back the next day and left. The moment she was gone, Yang Liang shouted angrily at Miss Tian. "Why did you accept the money? You go and return the money. She is my sister, real sister, how dare you treat her like this?" Miss Tian sneered and put away the money. She did not care about Yang Liang's anger and snapped back. "Real sister? She is living such a good life, and she has never spared a thought to you. Bah, real sister." Poked in his aching spot, Yang Liang became embarrassed but felt regretful too. "Shame on you. You treated her badly, that is why. And you were dead." Miss Tian sneered and broke through his hypocrisy. "Al treated her badly and you knew that clearly. But you said nothing. Now you are solely blaming me for it? I'll think that you treated her like that before, so you don't need to call her your real sister now. Also, the young master Zhao can take her as a concubine even though she is married. What is so wrong about it? She can be young master Zhao's concubine and will have maids serving her, without any worries about food and clothes. Isn't that better than what she has now? We are doing this for her sake as well. Also, young master Zhao is trying to teach the Shao family a lesson and it means that he really likes that girl. Otherwise, she will fall into trouble together with the Shao family. The Shao family is nothing compared to the Zhao family, and they are definitely going to lose this time. Will you like it when she suffers? Anyway, we are doing this for her sake. She will thank us when she knows our purpose in the future. I have accepted the money and I am not returning it. Else you can return it to the Zhao family yourself." Yang Liang was speechless. He sat down on the ground with his hands over his head, letting out a long Tian realized that her husband was convinced. She sneered proudly and knew that Yang Liang had no opinion of his own. She could do anything she wanted with him. She would do whatever to teach Yang Xiaoni a lesson, even if she was not paid. That damn girl had no heart. She was living a good life but cut off her relationship with them. She had never visited them since she got married. If Yang Xiaoni was so ruthless, then she could do anything she wanted to. When Yuezheng Shao dealt with the problem, the Zhao family had not yet started their plan on the Shao family. So Yuezheng Shao did not know about this. Hence, Yuezheng Shao only told them about what Madame Qiao did to the Shao family and how Manager Dong dealt with the problem. "Brother Shao, sister-in-law, I should have told you earlier about this. But I was worried that you would be affected by it and may not do well in the examination. That would have been a pity. Most importantly, I was able to deal with this problem myself." Chapter 689, Going Home, It Was My Fault Anyway. Brother Shao, sister-in-law, please forgive me. Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan looked at each other transfixedly. They were shocked. They had never expected that such a thing would happen at home. They had not expected that Madame Qiao would send her people to cause trouble at this juncture. Luckily, Qi turned to ask him for help, otherwise Madame Qiao would have discovered everything they had been trying to hide. They would never blame Yuezheng Shao for this. He was already very devoted to their well-being. He made this decision because he treated them as real friends. Brother Yuezheng, you really make me feel so ashamed of myself. Shao Yunduan replied emotionally. We are not ungrateful people. Actually, we should thank you for your help, Brother Yuezheng. Qiao Xian added. Yeah. Most importantly, it has been solved and everything is fine. As Qiao Xian thought of Shao Yunduan who had become the provincial champion, she smiled and added. We will be fine henceforth. All of them understood what she meant and laughed. They did not need to hide the secret any longer. When Shao Yunduan became the provincial champion, they would announce their relationship with the Yuezheng family and Xie. In this way the Qiao family would never dare to think about taking possession of their properties. The three of them exchanged a few words and charted out a strategy about how to make the details about the properties public. It was very late by the time they finished. Yuezheng Shao felt assured, thinking that they did not blame them for making the decision on his own. He was about to leave since it was getting dark when Shao Yunduan said, Brother Yuezheng, I am thinking about going home with my wife tomorrow. Could you please help us to deal with the rest of the affairs here? If someone asks where I am going, please tell them that I need to go home to deal with some urgent matters. Shao Yunduan was not entirely assured that the problem was solved. He knew fairly well what Madame Qiao was capable of. If the news that he was the provincial champion reached the county, he could not be sure that Madame Qiao would not do anything against his family. After all, she hated his wife so deeply. Maybe she would blame her for hiding everything. Yuezheng Shao understood that he could not stop Shao Yunduan at this moment. He nodded resolutely. In this case I will arrange the wagon to take you home. I and Brother Xie are here to help you. It is a little sad that you are back so soon, but we should have more chances in the future for other things. Shao Yunduan smiled with a gesture. Thanks, Brother Yuezheng. Don't mention it. After Yuezheng Shao left, Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan packed up swiftly, ready to leave early the next morning. They had lived here for a long while and Qiao Xian bought many things. But they could not take too many back home since the trip tomorrow was going to be very quick. Qiao Xian decided to take Liqiao back and let Li Xia stay. She told her to work with Yuezheng Shao who could send her back home later. If she did not understand something she could turn to Auntie Hua who worked for First Madam. But she should be cautious about Second Mrs. Yuezheng and her daughter. Qiao Xian even gave her 10,000 liang and a letter for Yuezheng Shao, asking him to buy out the land she had set her eyes on. Li Xia nodded nervously but she felt excited as well. Mrs. Shao seemed to trust her and hence, instructed her to do these tasks. If she could do these well she could become one of her most trustworthy maids. Mrs. Shao was an upright person and she would definitely ensure a good future for her. Li Xia felt so lucky to have been bought off by Qiao Xian. Chapter 690. Miss Tian's plan. The dawn had just broken, when Qiao Xian, Shao Yunduan and Liqiao were hurrying back home. They knew Madame Qiao and Qiao Wei well, so even though they kept consoling each other, they still desired to arrive home as soon as possible. Evil and reckless people would always do something unexpected, something beyond their expectation. Shao Yunduan did not attend the gatherings of the recommended men. Yuezheng Shao helped him to explain to others that Shao Yunduan needed to go home for some urgent matters at home. The others all understood what happened. One could not be delayed when he needed to deal with something at home. After she and Miss Tian made the deal, Zhao Guanghua came to Yang Liang's home in a low-profile manner the following morning. Thinking that he could get hold of the beautiful girl she had been dreaming of, Zhao Guanghua felt so motivated. Tian received Zhao Guanghua and his servant passionately, and Zhao Guanghua was generous enough to give her a small amount of money again. Yang Liang wasn't feeling well. He remained silent, sitting in the corner with his head lowered. Miss Tian looked down at him. He had approved of this proposal as well. What was the point of pretending now? When everything was settled at home, Miss Tian went to Yang Xiaoni with 2 crying children, saying that Yang Liang had just rolled off the hill and got seriously injured. Maybe he would be paralyzed for the rest of his life. She expected her to come and take a look at him since he was her brother after all. No one doubted that Miss Tian would lie about this. She could not have been so evil as to joke about this, right? Yang Xiaoni panicked as well. She felt empty in heart. She did not hold any hope towards Yang Liang, but bloodline was a strange thing. So, when she heard about Yang Liang's accident, Yang Xiaoni could not be so cruel as not to visit her brother after all. Shao Sanlang wanted to keep them company, but halfway there Miss Tian again cried and asked Shao Sanlang to fetch a reliable doctor in the town. They were too poor to hire someone good and the doctor in the village could not be of much help. Shao Sanlang could not turn her down. Hiring a doctor was nothing to him because the amount was quite little. So he nodded and left. Yang Xiaoni went back home with Miss Tian alone. As they reached the familiar yet strange-looking yard, Yang Xiaoni stopped her steps and felt a little blurry in mind. This place used to be her nightmare, and she thought that she would never come back after she left. But here she was, again. She did need to visit her brother if he was about to get paralyzed. It was just a visit, wasn't it? Miss Tian smiled at Yang Xiaoni seeing that she stopped. What are you staring at? Come in. Yang Xiaoni's heart throbbed. She suddenly had a strange feeling. Her brother treated her terribly but he liked Miss Tian. He was the backbone of the family and if he got sick, Miss Tian would not have been able to show a smile at this juncture. Yang Xiaoni was a very open-minded person, not a cautious one. But Miss Tian had never treated her nicely. At this moment though she seemed so different. That was very weird. Chapter 691. Suspicion. Yang Xiaoni said as she walked into the yard, "Is Yang Liang so seriously injured?" Hearing that Yang Xiaoni did not even address her husband as brother, Miss Tian cursed her inwardly. But she did not want to cause any trouble at the moment. So, she did not pick on Yang Xiaoni but sighed pretentiously. "Of course. He is lying in the room. You should go and take a look at him and speak with him too." Yang Xiaoni looked at Miss Tian in surprise and her heart was throbbing. Tian did not call her a ruthless and cruel girl? That was very strange. Yang Xiaoni might not be so skeptical towards others, except for Miss Tian. She had been living under Miss Tian's dominance for years and she survived to this stage because she knew Miss Tian well. She knew exactly what Miss Tian was like. Suddenly she felt that something was very wrong. How could Miss Tian treat her so kindly? Yang Xiaoni did not want to enter the house. She said, "Hell will wait for Sanlang until he comes back with the doctor." Miss Tian's face changed. She gripped Yang Xiaoni's arm and dragged her in. "What are you waiting for here? You have no heart, your brother is injured and you don't even want to look at him?" Yang Xiaoni shrugged away her hand and said, "Get off me now." "Shut up now. I can drag you in." "You." Yang Xiaoni was used to doing labor work and she was physically strong. Miss Tian could not control her. The two women started fighting with each other in the yard. Miss Tian was worried that her money would be gone if she didn't succeed now, so she shouted loudly, "Shut the main gate now." She and Do complained about Miss Tian being useless so they rushed out of the room. "It is you." Yang Xiaoni soon recognized the two people who had tried to grab her earlier. Scared and frightened, she did not even have time to curse Miss Tian when she pushed her away, rushing towards the gate. "Stop." She and Do rushed out. If the gate was closed and they gagged her, no one would see anything and the matter would go smoothly. But if Yang Xiaoni rushed out there was nothing they could do. People were milling around the village. They were not brave enough to rob a girl in broad daylight. Yang Xiaoni was panicking. The gate was right in front of her but she felt that she was not going to make it. She and Do were right behind her. Right then Yang Liang, who had been ordered to stay in the room, rushed out and bumped into She and Do, who collapsed on the ground. Yang Xiaoni was suddenly relieved. She rushed out without looking back. "Bitch, stop now." Miss Tian did not give up and instead sped out. Yang Xiaoni asked for help when she was rushing out. Help me please." Miss Tian wanted to beat her to death. "Stop it, shut up now." Some villagers were on the way and they saw the scene, feeling surprised. "Hey, Xiaoni is here." "What is wrong? So confusing." "Yeah." She had just reached the entrance of the village when a donkey cart came towards her. Chapter 692. Encounter. Halfway Shao Sanlang hopped off the donkey cart and ran into Yang Xiaoni. "Brother Sanlang." Yang Xiaoni threw herself into Shao Sanlang's arms, crying loudly and feeling miserable. Miss Tian's heart sank. She turned around and decided to run away. Qiao Xian and Qiao had already hopped off the donkey cart and caught up with Miss Tian, who had already become exhausted. They gripped her tightly. Qiao Xian gave her a sarcastic smile. Miss Tian, what are you running for? You know you can run but you can't hide. Let go of me. No. Miss Tian struggled out and snapped at her. I am not running. I have not done anything wrong. Qiao Xian replied coldly. You wish you didn't. Yang Xiaoni spilled out the story in Shao Sanlang's arms. Shao Sanlang got so furious that he shouted loudly at Miss Tian. Qiao Xian said, many people must have seen what happened today. We should clarify the matter so that people won't guess randomly. What do you think? Shao Sanlang glared at Miss Tian, and then turned to Yang Xiaoni. Yang Xiaoni wiped her tears and sobbed. Whatever you say, fifth sister-in-law. In this case we will go to fifth Grandma Yang. We are also going to speak with the land officer and the elderly men from the clan today. Miss Tian did not agree with her. But Qiao Xian and Qiao were not loosening their grip on her. Shao Sanlang and Shao Yunduan went to fetch Yang Liang and brought him to fifth Grandma Yang's home. As for Zhao Guanghua and his servants, they had already escaped. But they were not going to get away with this. Qiao Xian and Shao Yunduan's wagon had just run into Shao Sanlang, who was going into the town with the bullock cart. They got down and greeted each other. Shao Sanlang was very happy seeing them come back. When he heard that Shao Yunduan was the provincial champion, he smiled brightly. It was already 4 in the afternoon, and Shao Sanlang must be heading into the town for some urgent matter. Shao Yunduan asked him about it. Shao Sanlang told the story. Qiao Xian burst out immediately. Third brother, how can you leave the third sister-in-law alone with the Yang family? You know how they treat her. Shao Sanlang was shocked. He replied hesitantly. It should be fine, right? You know, Yang Liang was lying still and nothing would happen to Yang Xiaoni at this time, right? Qiao Xian replied. I'll think we should be careful. Miss Tian is never up to any good and she might bully the third sister-in-law. Shao Yunduan agreed with her. Third brother, I think my wife is right. Shao Sanlang panicked hearing the couple's words. What should we do? I will go back and take a look. Shao Yunduan was not very assured by this straight-minded brother of his. He could not handle a fierce woman like Miss Tian. In fact, even he could not do so. But things were different at this moment. He was Mr. Provincial champion, and when this identity was revealed, he did not need to deal with Miss Tian personally. Darling, let's go with him. Qiao Xian nodded. Okay, let's go now. They would arrive home later tonight and could finish this task on the way. Shao Yunduan asked Chu Shan to hire a doctor from the town, whilst Qiao Xian, Shao Yunduan and Qiao went onto the donkey cart with Shao Sanlang as the driver. They headed towards the Yang village. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.